cheers to episode 190. You know what cheer you up,
Stop
Alex?
using that stupid cup.
Looking at this mug. Elementary.
I made this cup.
I have Coke, 0 sugar.
At 9 o'clock.
At 8:52 p.m. on Monday, November 11th. Coke, 0 sugar.
Is there caffeine in that?
I can't tell. It doesn't say caffeine free.
Then yes.
Coca-Cola bottle.
Caffeine at 9 p.m. on a Monday.
Chalice glass. I don't give a damn.
I have water.
You got water? Evan, what'd you have?
Water with Mio.
What flavor? Mio.
Mio.
Oh, familiar with that. That's good stuff. How many squirts do you normally do?
1.5, 2. I don't like it overpowering. Very little. Just enough
Same.
to like change the water color, basically.
Yep, agreed. If you overpower it, it really does suck.
Yeah.
Let us be the first to wish you a happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Not to steal Evan's thunder on the holidays, but I wrote that down because I remembered it today. Besides that, November 11th, I said that, 8:55 p.m. Butler's in an absolute not sweat, but they're handled in Western
12.
Michigan right now. So if
Yes.
Clary's listening to this, I'll be texting the chat if we beat the
Ryan.
Broncos. Well, let's not jinx it. We stink.
Oh, it's
There's only
our boy
2 minutes left,
Stevens.
though.
He's struggling down there.
Who's Stevens?
Dwayne Stevens, Michigan
Western
State
Michigan's
head
coach.
assistant coach.
I was talking about Brad Stevens. I was like, oh, he's with the Celtics. Pretty busy. No, not busy. I think this show actually, I'm not going to jinx it, but I think it'll go faster. I don't really feel like there's a lot for our in-state college teams to talk about this week. They both stink, and one was on a bye, so there's not really anything to talk about. The Lions had a massive game that Alex was at, so that's going to take up a big chunk. We have our Pookies and Dookies as always, and then we're going to give some love to the college basketball teams, more so talk about your expectations, any predictions for your team, maybe what games you're looking most forward to from your teams this year, some maybe under-the-radar players, just popping it around about the two teams in state. So that's going to be the show. Alex, as always, wearing the Wake Forest sweatshirt tonight.
I wear
What'd you
this
do?
often. No reason for wearing it.
Liar.
I wear it often. I've worn it on this show before.
Maybe once, but there's definitely a reason. Don't be cute.
My sister goes there, yeah.
No, you
She's
hate
graduating
scum.
in May. Wow, what did I do? Is this have we had a show since the election?
Oh, we did it Monday before. The election happened on Tuesday. And then
Oh, we welcome a new president back to the White House. All right, so Tuesday, I played golf because I had election day off.
that's right.
Any guesses on what I shot?
47.
18.
47 for president. Oh, you played 9?
45, 47. Front.
Oh, you.
No, just kidding.
What's that math?
92?
That's a 92. Shot
Did not
92.
You didn't get the joke?
I got the joke. You
You gonna
shot
guess?
82.
Evan?
Any guesses
Here.
what you shot? It's the typical golf round for you. Somewhere between an 83 and a 79.
81. Right in the
Told
middle.
you.
You probably had an atrocious stretch
Double
of 9 and
bogey
then a
on.
really good 9.
No.
I double bogeyed 18 to shoot us 81.
No.
Putrid.
Double bogey free this time. Just kind of cruised around the
Played
course.
consistent golf. Wow.
Putting was really bad, surprisingly. Putting's been
How come?
bad
You're not
lately,
used to the non-simulator.
so putting struggled, but other than that, pretty good. And then after golf during the day, I had golf league at night because they moved it to Tuesdays. So did that. And then I don't remember the rest of the week after that, to be honest.
Solid
Saturday
blur.
didn't move at all.
How many steps?
Probably like 6. Really bad. Sunday, got productive, got a car wash. I don't do that often, so I need to talk about the fact that I got one.
That's a big thing. A very
Grocery
underrated thing.
shopped, worked out, meal prepped, all before like 11 a.m.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
How's your
Productive.
Ironman prep going?
It's not an Ironman.
I know I like doing that. It just pisses you off.
I don't know. I guess you don't really know if you're good at it until you do it. It's not like you can just wake up and do one.
Yeah,
So,
I guess. I don't know. It sounds like a guy's not been training very hard.
yeah, I would say it's lacking.
Okay,
So,
which is fine.
yeah,
Which is totally fine.
yeah, I got time.
You're just gonna know when you start.
Yeah,
You're ready to go.
You'll know.
Oh man.
Then I went to a friend's house, like the
Whoa,
1 o'clock
friends.
afternoon, slitting up dudes, bunch of dudes in there. Well, and his
Still
wife.
impressive.
Pre-game to the Lions game. I don't know why you're like that. Pre-game to the Lions game. Went to the Lions game. Got home at like 1 a.m. Had to go to work this morning.
You had to work today. I thought for sure
Tough.
you wouldn't work.
No, I worked. It sucked. I was very tired. I'm very tired right now. So my enthusiasm will be lacking.
Grab a Coke Zero.
No, I don't want any caffeine. I want to go to sleep.
Let's toss it to Evan. Evan, any news and notes?
This week wasn't really too late. Tuesday and Wednesday were probably the highlights, just because. Other than that, I didn't really do much.
You guys seen the
Friday
Menendez
night.
thing? Oh,
Friday night. I wish. Just driving home. Boom. Bambi. My Jeep. Sent that thing flying.
What?
Yeah. Just absolutely rocked a deer. I mean, I sent that thing airborne.
Oh my god. How fast were you going?
55, 60 going down Rogers.
Oh my god. What was
Yep.
the fallout? What happened?
Nothing.
What do you mean?
nothing
There
happened.
is not. There's not a dent, a scratch on my Jeep.
You hit it
Clean.
so hard that nothing
It
happened.
just. I don't know. The deer just exploded. I still have first stuck to my Jeep. Like it's like.
you
just
sure
stuck
you
on
hit
the
a
grill.
deer?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. I had friends text me that I told them like, "Hey, I just hit a deer. Like I was driving from your house," and then they laughed at me. And then they took a picture of the deer on Saturday morning, because they drove by and it's like, "Yep, here's Bambi that you killed."
Jeez.
You,
So it was a small
the
deer?
meat?
It was a
That's what you're calling Bambi?
small doe.
That's
I hit
sad.
the thing, and so was so nervous getting home. I got home. It's 11 o'clock, 10:30 at night. I checked my Jeep, and I just could not believe it that there was nothing wrong with it.
were you like dreading walking out and be like,
Oh, I was in full panic.
take a look.
Full panic.
Another Jeep problem.
I was like, didn't cry, didn't have to call my mom, so I won. I even woke up in shock, and I checked my Jeep before I had to go to work on Saturday.
So there's definitely something wrong with it.
You walked in, you kissed Ben on the lips and said, "Dad, we're good."
Oh, God.
You're going to turn it on tomorrow morning. It's going to combust.
Alex, shut
I
up.
hope I'm in it.
The deer's going to be in the backseat waiting for you with a baseball
Tommy
bat.
boy.
Hey, buddy.
Other than that, Saturday was just a college football buffet. I think I did something Saturday afternoon. I don't
Gross.
remember what it was.
It's a terrible
Tavern.
slate.
Tecumseh Tavern.
I wish. I worked, and then I don't think I did anything after that.
Should I go to the tavern over Thanksgiving? Is that a
Yes.
spot we should go?
Yes.
Hey, I'm going to be home. What are we doing? Let's figure
Tavern.
it out.
We can bar hop.
We're hunting. We
We
already
are
know we're
hunting.
hunting. We're hunting.
We're hunting on Friday.
Oh,
Hunting
I took my hunter's
big
safety.
deer.
I guess that was on Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you have to renew?
This is my certification that you have to have, just in case the DNR checks you.
Yeah, they can check it online. I have one.
You have the certification. You passed the.
Yes.
Oh.
Do I need one if
I
I'm
never
not?
thought that you took this one.
Do I need
feel
one
like-
if I'm not touching anything?
No,
No.
you don't need one.
Hell yeah.
You can sit
I
there.
did that on Wednesday.
Maybe daddy will let you touch the gun.
You don't need a license to drive a patty.
Ugh.
Oh, it's funny.
Sorry,
Uh,
as you were saying.
and did that. I guess that was on Wednesday.
Can I ask a life advice question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Two
Not
guys that have a lot of life
for
under their
me
belts.
specifically, just your guys' general thoughts. I feel like it'd be a good podcast conversation.
Are you like critiquing one of us, or is it just
No.
popping your head right now?
Hopefully.
No, this just popped in my head, and I've seen it on like TikTok.
Oh.
So when you go on a first date with someone,
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
I-
I'm with you.
or you're planning a first date with someone,
Oh.
do you think it's
And
weird
then they cancel
to
your plans and
plan?
never text you back.
Oh, sorry, Evan.
Aw.
Poor guy.
Happens.
Does happen.
That happens.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying it was me.
Did it to me.
So, do you think it's maybe this is a big city thing? I don't know if it matters or not, but like, is it weird to have a first day on a prime day, like a Saturday night type of deal? Or is it more normal to have one during the week?
I think it's
Do you
just.
think it matters? And then on the other side of that, do you think it's weird to have a first date on a Sunday night? So, two topics that have been hot.
This is hot in the streets. I think first date, I think it can happen whenever.
Okay.
And I see it how just as like, when are you available? And if people have a busy work schedule,
Yeah.
I'm only available Saturday and Sunday.
There's never a bad time to fall in love.
Amen.
Cheesy answer.
Say that with
And I also, like, I think I would want, like, if I'm going on a date, like, let's say it's just a restaurant, going out to eat, I would want it more busy than not busy. So, like, if I go on a random Tuesday night and it's a dud in the restaurant,
you're just sitting there awkward with one person.
Sunday night is a no. I think that's weird.
Oh, I would say
too many. Monday scaries for work are starting to settle in. You probably have things that you've done around the house. Depends on what football's on that day. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Sunday's a no. That's a sacred day. It's the Lord's day.
Good for me.
It's the Lord's day.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say in a big city with all the bars and restaurants at your disposal, grabbing a drink or like appetizers a weekday after work, you're already dressed up, feels a little bit more casual than like the to-do of like having to shower, get out of your PJs on a Saturday after you just
sit around all day and be like, oh, now I got to get ready for a date.
That's more daunting. There's a lot more pressure on that date. Whereas if you're already in the day of your life, you're like, oh yeah, I'll get some appetizers.
Pressure. That isn't like.
That's real pressure.
But Evan, it's easier when you're like, you're at work all day, you're not thinking about anything, and then you just, meeting this person here, straight from work. I'm already in my nice-ish clothes. There's no pressure.
To try this.
I'm not that. I'm pretty hungry, so if I have one drink, I'll be buzzed and loosen up a little bit.
Specifically in a big city, that is very popular. Is the day
Saturday is a prime.
Happy
prime
hour.
Was the right word that you used. That's a big commitment. Your Saturday is a big day.
And what I see on TikTok is, girls complaining if a dude asks to do it on Saturday because it's like, no, that's my day.
Oh, girls want their girls' night out.
For the record, I'm only asking because a girl just asked me if I wanted to go on a date Saturday or Sunday. So there's a peek into my life.
Tuesday. Sorry.
Like,
not this one. Champions Classic. Sorry, actually.
Sorry, babe. I have a podcast, and I just asked my co-hosts what they think, and they think Wednesday.
Play the Jaguars. You're good,
babe. Listen, Monday is normally recording night. Tuesday is my indoor golf league. Wednesday, I start to make my run your pool picks. Thursday, TNF's on. Friday,
we'll try after
shitty
Christmas.
Big Ten game. All right,
Grant, what'd you do?
I've changed as a human. I had a hard stance about not disrespecting Thanksgiving, but as you are in a relationship and you have to give here and there.
The Christmas tree's up.
Christmas decorations are fully up in the apartment.
It's a terrible look.
Fully decorated.
Is it Christmas or just winter?
It is a Christmas tree. It is the Christmas decorations. It's the real deal.
Do you say Merry Christmas in your apartment or you say Happy Holidays?
I think we have a mix. We have a mix of a bunch. Like one says Christmas. There's a pillow that says Happy Holidays. There's a little mug that says like Noel that has like fake leaves in it or something. Cover all the bases. Problem is Marissa's very like, I would say minimalist decoration. Like wants everything to be clean colors. If I do decorations, I like them to be gaudy. I like them to be out there. I like pops of color. I want. In our little staircase, you guys have seen it. How there's a landing, then you turn up.
You want the Grinch hanging from the Christmas.
I want the Grinch
absolutely
hanging from that chandelier. Like I think that's funny. Like if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Let's go all out. So I did compromise. I've always wanted one. Well, not always. I just saw it in the store. I was like, that's sweet. If I'm gonna get something, I want that. It's like I don't know, one of those like. It's not a gingerbread house. It's one of those, but it's like a porcelain figurine, and it's a ski resort. and it's like they light up and they move. So like people go around the town of the ski resort, and like people come down the mountain and stuff. I'll show you guys when it comes in. It should be here like Friday. Gonna set that on one of our counters. I'm excited for that. So that's gonna be a sweet addition that will last the test of time. But the decorations are up, sadly. But I still respect Thanksgiving. I want that known. I don't skip over that holiday.
Are you more a Christmas or Thanksgiving guy?
Thanksgiving.
What?
I love Thanksgiving.
It's so weird.
Did I like Thanksgiving more?
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I think. Well,
I
this year
Thanksgiving's
there's
super overrated.
No, because of the Lions,
Okay,
and
this
because
is-
of like
this is my
Feast Week,
reason
I
why.
love Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's great.
Sports, sure.
Okay, but also Thanksgiving, there's no pressure with the gifts. You do the same thing
Yep.
with the same people, basically, but there's no pressure with the gifts.
No
I'm
pressure.
At the
It's
age,
just show up, eat, get
no
drunk,
gifts.
have a good time.
We should just do that for Christmas. Should just be no gifts.
I'm with you. The older I get, the less things I ask for. So hopefully one year somebody doesn't get me anything like I asked
I don't think
for.
I've asked for something specific in like 8 years.
I feel so bad now that
9
I've
years.
made a Christmas list this year.
What?
And it's all shit that I know I'm not going
Prepared.
to get because it's too expensive.
But you're ready. So when
I'm
people
ready
ask,
just in
like,
case.
hey,
What do
here
you
go.
want, Evan? Oh, I want a 36-inch Blackstone grill. Oh, sorry, that's $500. That's all I want. Sorry.
You guys can all get together. Pool in.
Pull your money together. See if you have enough.
I need socks and I need underwear. I think
Alex,
that's what I would ask
this is
for.
my pet peeve with Christmas too. I've asked for socks and underwear the last 3 years. Haven't gotten it.
Yeah, I actually want those. Someone just
Inflation.
get them for
I
me.
ask for stuff that I'm going to use every single day. Hey, I want new windshield wipers for my Jeep.
Mm.
Do you think I've gotten them? It's a
I
big
want a car
slap
wash
in the
membership.
face.
Got one car wash and now I want a membership.
I'm
gonna
getting
go
a
every
Costco
day.
membership this year. I'm asking every single person Costco membership because if it turns out like 4 people give me one, well, I'm set.
Got a bad
Well,
idea.
You don't need 4 of them. Is that what you meant?
I'm just gonna ask every single person. Like it's bound to hit on one person.
Because you want to bring the
I want to bring the boob.
Evan's having double chunk chocolate cookies for Christmas.
So instead of watching the boring NFL shit show it is every Sunday, I can actually spend some quality time at Costco.
Evan's gonna get double chunk chocolate cookies and leave them out for Santa the night before for his Blackstone.
Yes.
The only other thing I did was I dipped into the high school football world on Friday night. Rochester Adams.
Bring a flask.
No.
Oh,
Marissa did bring in like apple
Why would you
cider.
even go?
We weren't there
went
that
with-
long.
You watch football with no booze?
No booze.
No boobs and no booze.
Correct. No, neither. Rochester Adams, let me tell you, when you're sizing, high school football is fun. It is. It was a blast from the past. You're sizing everyone up. You're looking at the kids. You're like, wow, that kid looks like a problem. Clarkston looked like the intimidating team compared to Adams, but Adams just outcoached them. They ran circles around that team. Better discipline, better scheme. They kind of had the old Al Romano idea going on with us where they spread out wide. Like their wide receiver splits, they had 2 guys basically on outside the numbers on high school, like no threat to catch a pass at all. And they would just run inside zone. But like all the other defenders had to respect that, and they would just gash Clarkston with runs. Clarkston couldn't really do anything. Game was over by halftime. We left after halftime. I was looking at the playoffs now because I'm like, ooh, should I just scratch the itch every Friday with all these teams like kind of in the Metro Detroit area? Grand Blanc is coming to Adams Friday night again at 7 p.m., so I could run it back. But there's a game that would be a commitment. It'd be a 40-minute drive, but Belleville plays DCC in Novi at their stadium, and I would love to get my eyes on Bryce Underwood versus an undefeated Detroit Catholic Central. I don't know if I drive to that, but it's going to be a zoo because I heard there was like 10,000 people for Belleville Saline.
I heard it was absurd.
I
People
heard it
that
was
will like go there to
nuts.
every game to like recruit or everything. They said it was the most people they've seen in like the Belleville parking lot of all time.
We're talking about
Yeah.
the number 1 player in the country. So
Correct.
I know, and he's going to be
And
in
Connor
Novi.
Stannis is calling the offense now.
Well, we'll get to that. I have that at Pookies and Dookies.
Oh,
Well, let's do that now. Evan, is that your coach? Is that crazy that he just left Mumford and now he got hired by them after the
He
regular
was
season?
Technically, the interim coach, I guess.
Would you do that for an MSU recruit?
The number 1. I mean, I can't say what I really want to say.
Messiah Weaver? Well, we could cut it.
There's crooked high school football coaches. Let's just say that. There's a reason
Oh,
why some schools are good.
I can see that. I mean, at every level of competition, there's crooked. With him specifically, I think the headline is juicy. It's crazy. I was like, what? I cannot believe he's doing that. But it kind of makes sense from like their perspective, I guess. I don't know how Bryce feels about it, inviting him in, because he probably is going to talk to him about Michigan. I mean, he's Connor Stalions. He's a crazy person.
He's got his
but
what's the paper document thing?
Manifesto.
Yes.
Yeah. If you are trying to win a state title, and you're allowed to do that, he's definitely a smart dude. We know that. Like, he's not a dummy. He was at high level D1, like, valuable to them. And also from his perspective, I get it. Besides the Bryce Underwood, he probably would have taken that job regardless, because he's trying to work his way back up the ranks. And he was at Mumford, who had like no talent, losing by 50 points. If one of the number one teams in the state says, "Hey, will you help us for the playoffs?" Like, you take that job as you try to get back in good graces with the football community. So it's just kind of, I don't know if it's coincidental. I saw the coach said he got recommended to them from someone else in the area. So I don't know how that all went down, but it's kind of crazy that it's the guy that Michigan is trying to flip. Now he's like his offensive coordinator, essentially. He's calling plays for Belleville, which is nuts.
So you guys fully think he's going to go to Michigan now?
No, I don't expect him to go. I never have.
Didn't know if you had changed your mind.
It's just exciting to be in the $10 million NIL mix.
I also don't know like
cool.
the minds of some of these top recruits, but like one of us, we go down to LSU from LSU, Alabama, and you leave that place and you're like, yeah, you know what? I want to go to
Going to
Michigan.
Ann Arbor.
Like,
It's fair.
I don't know.
Did you see the Michigan fan bus that went to Belleville?
No.
Did you guys see any of that?
No.
You guys would say things we'd have to cut if you saw them, but basically it was like an organized Michigan fan turnout where they took a bus of like 1,000 Michigan fans, like all dressed in maize, to like say they had shirts that said "We want Bryce" and Elijah Dotson, the other kid for Belleville, and like they got the DJ to play Mr. Brightside going into the fourth quarter, and there's some videos of them like singing along. And Michigan State Twitter and people ran with it, and it was some funny commentary about that group of people that took their Friday night to go to Belleville to get this kid to hopefully go. They're probably scaring him away more than anything.
Yeah, no comment
a lot of
there.
pressure.
Stallions could actually work. That fan group, that's not working.
It's a lot of pressure. Like Bryce shows
Yeah.
up to LSU, they're used to having 5 stars.
They welcome that. Although I will say, if you could give me a wish list of how bad a visit could go with the weather and then also the product in the field, that's probably about as poor as it go. But I don't think recruits really care if the team they're visiting wins or not. They don't really give a shit.
They don't.
Because if
Only,
they lose,
only,
they'll be like, I can change that. They'll
only
be
the
like, I
sun
can
god.
change it. Oh, Amon-Ra?
Yeah.
Yeah, what did he say about his?
He said
I forget.
he went to visit on Michigan. It was lost in the downpour rain to Michigan State. He's like, yeah, I'm not coming here.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was at the downpour game. Yeah. Weather.
Michigan recruited him?
Yes. He visited
Yeah.
Michigan because
Wow.
his brother went to Notre Dame.
You saw us win.
The
Yes,
monsoon
in
game,
the
I think, is what he said on the
monsoon game, he
podcast.
I was there. I was in the building with
It
Amon-Ra.
probably did suck. You can confirm. It was like it's not a cool atmosphere because it was dumping rain the entire
I had a
game.
great time.
Well, sure. But excitement of game, probably not your favorite.
The best.
Tired, Alex.
He said
All
that
right.
with a straight face. Cut that. That's a clip.
Let's get into Pookies and Dookies of the week. Evan,
Oh,
I'm just-
money.
You know me, I have a few. I have an overall one, big picture for Evan that I
Oh.
kind of hate to do, but I actually think it's both football for pro and college. I think Dookie was football in general this
Oh,
week.
that
I don't
was
think
the only one I had.
really.
Dookie,
Take it away, then.
Football this weekend was just bad. It was nothing
What?
like exciting. Ole Miss,
No.
Georgia was an upset,
Let
but
down.
like the game wasn't close.
Gross weather, low
Alabama,
scoring,
LSU, horrendous.
horrendous out the gate.
And then was there any other games?
Purdue, Ohio State, big noon kickoff.
Snooze
Gross.
fest.
Terrible.
What game did I watch at noon?
Miami, Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
Sucked.
Georgia Tech did win.
I was in and
Can't
out
get into
napping
that.
during the noon games.
Yeah, the whole day was terrible.
It was. I know we always say like cherish the weeks, but like that
No.
was a bad week of
It was
football.
garbage.
The NFL
So
was
boring.
terrible. The 4 p.m. slate of NFL was the worst 3 games I've ever seen in my life. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you like more than 2 snaps. I was like, I think we were set up. No, we were cooking during that time. And I was like, I don't care about any of these games.
I took a nap during the noon slate too. And
Just-
watch Michigan. I watched a Michigan Wake Forest game more than I watched the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's bad. It's just a terrible week of football.
Dookie
That's
of
why I don't
football.
have a bunch of Pookies and Dookies, because it's all Dookie for me.
Evan, any Pookies or Dookies on your end?
I'll keep with my tradition. I would say Army and having the greatest drive of the year. Over 13-minute drive, 21, 22 plays. You basically had the ball for an entire quarter. They scored a touchdown.
Suck. Who they play?
I would try to do
Texas?
that.
North Texas.
I would try to do that on Heisman mode when I knew I was bad and I couldn't win. And I would just try to waste as much clock as possible on the first possession, get it all the way down to like the end of the whole half in 5-minute quarters. So it's good stuff. Army did it in real life.
Speaking
Yes.
of Heisman, did you guys see the memes going around that Jared Goff's stat line was like when you play Heisman mode, you end up winning the game, but you throw 5 picks?
It's
Very relatable.
Gotta
Very
keep slinging
relatable.
it.
I'll do a couple college football ones. You guys can comment if you agree or disagree. Pookie was obviously Ole Miss and Alabama. I thought Ole Miss, I think, is a sleeping giant in college football. I think
Giant.
they're good enough to win a national championship.
Well, I was
Yeah, that's
player
the-
watching Ole
Sleeping
Miss.
giant that's not the definition.
I was player watching Ole Miss solely because I saw one mock draft and it had Ole Miss's defensive end mocked to the Lions.
Look at you. Scout Camus is on it
Oh,
in
yeah,
November.
I've already looked at like 20 mock drafts.
Send Brad an email. Get him ready. Who was it? What was his name?
I'm gonna butcher that dude's name. Number
was
one,
it Princely
Prince.
Umalayan?
Yep.
Yeah. Transfer from Florida, I think. Yeah.
He played well. He had a couple sacks, a lot of pressures.
Nice.
Was in the backfield all game.
Against a big offensive line, an offensive line that hasn't played great this year, but they're big boys, so he's going against good competition. That was a huge win for their program. They're firmly back in the mix. Unless they can, they should be in the playoff unless they just pee down their legs in these last 2 games. I think
on
they
top
have
of that,
left.
man, I would say Pookie is Ole Miss's backup quarterback coming in for that first drive,
Touchdown.
What a
and
drive!
just slinging it.
Did he throw a lot? Because I only saw the end of the drive. I just assumed they just
He,
ran
five
it.
and
But
six.
if he
the
threw
only
it, that's
reason
cool.
he got the ball down there was
Wow.
because on him. It was just RPOs, and he was just like, "F it, I'm pulling it, throwing it."
Wow. Yeah, they're very live. I think like when we talk about the teams that can win it all, I think they're just lurking there like they could. I think their defense is playing fantastic, and they do. When Jackson Dart is right, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He keeps getting banged up though. I feel like he gets hurt like every game I watch him play. Same with Bama. Bama definitely still game breaker player in Milrow.
Oh, Bill Rose, not one of his first ones, but the super long one.
Yeah, 22 miles an hour. I saw today.
Yep. Fast
He's
guy.
nuts. When he
I
gets
believe
loose.
that speed was not doing his justice. I think he was going faster than 22.
He's crazy.
I would have loved to watch that live because on TV you can tell that he is faster, but then the in person you could just see the difference between all 22 players.
Yeah, the distance.
I was just laughing
That-
during that game. It's just I just picture the guy that Connor and I sat by, just the drunk, whatever, 20-year-old LSU fan, just all up in his feels, just down bad, getting his ass kicked by Alabama.
Yeah, that had to be hot. That place cleared out fast, I bet.
Oh yeah. They were probably
When it was
turning
halftime,
on.
I was thinking of the concourse when Alex and I were standing out at halftime and people were just like, the guy spiked his hat by my feet. I was imagining how bad it was at halftime of that game in a wet concourse of Louisiana fans. Pookie Grant.
Oh,
Shut up.
Why? I cashed out of my Miami and Iowa State Conference Championship futures before kickoff this Saturday.
did you just have a hunch, or you just felt like doing it?
Well, Iowa State lost the week before.
Yep.
So there was a full transparency. Theirs was like $10 to win 105, and the cash out was like $30. So it wasn't great, but I was like, I'll take that profit because I just don't think they'd win the conference title game if they make it, and they got upset by Kansas. So that was great. And then Miami's was like pay 15 to win 80, and I think the cash out was close to 50. And I was like, I would like a little bit more because they are undefeated, but it's so stressful each week because they suck. Like their defense is terrible. They don't suck. Their defense sucks, and it's gonna catch up to them at some point. So I was like, I'm just going to take that because I also wanted to be able to bet more game to game. I'm like, I'm going to cash those out so I can use more game to game. But it worked out where they both lost this week, so I felt really smart after Saturday concluded.
Hey, good job, Grant.
You can see the future.
Well, in some cases, I wish more on my single bets. And then last Pookie for college is Colorado and BYU. Just 2 Big 12 schools. Right now, the odds-on favorites to win their conference. Wild. We looked at all the teams to start the year. Kansas State, they're still in the mix. Utah, all those Oklahoma State was supposed to be a favorite, and now it's Colorado and BYU that are the front runners right now to meet up in the Big 12 championship game with a couple games to go. It's kind of crazy.
I put Colorado on the slate this week.
Did you? I haven't dove in yet. Probably the first time all year.
They're big noon, and
no, Nebraska was on the slate.
Colorado is big noon this week at Colorado. That game's at what, like 9 a.m.
No,
local
they're only
time.
an hour back.
Big 10 a.m.
2 hours. They're an hour back. 2 hours. Hour.
2.
Hour.
At least 2.
Hour.
Time in
They're
Boulder,
not in Central
Colorado.
time. Colorado is not Central time.
No, it's
Central
2, yeah.
time.
You're right. Big 10 a.m. kickoff.
10 a.m. kickoff.
Big 10 a.m.
Miserable.
Money on the rise.
So bad.
From Boulder.
Wake up.
What's he
eat
gonna
your
call Travis
pancakes
Hunter?
in the middle of the first quarter.
Eggs and eggs.
They do wheat out there a lot. They're a big smoke. Wake and bake.
Wake and bake, baby.
What's he going to call Travis Hunter? What's this going to be?
Travis Hunter.
Travis two-time?
Class
He plays both
alma mater,
ways?
isn't it?
Yeah.
Two-time
Two-time Travis.
Travis.
Scoring touchdowns and getting picks. Because he plays both ways, Joel. Quick Dookies. Miami.
Yep. Next.
Utah's athletic director. You guys see this
Next.
press
Oh, I
conference?
did.
I love the passion, but you can't just be like, I thought
They
it was funny,
cheated.
but it was a little aggressive in terms of this game was stolen
We'll
from
call them.
us.
We'll be talking to them.
Like, F the conference. This is why we've never joined him beforehand.
That line was so good. It's like, I thought I was going to love joining the Big 12, but not today. I was like, that's funny as hell. Iowa State as well, so we already got them. My NFL ones, Pookies, people that own Jamar Chase or Joe Burrow in fantasy football. Great start to your week on
Lucky.
Thursday night.
Dookies, anybody that played against him.
Yeah, Dookie. Pookie Steelers, shout out to Luke. They won a big time game. They just keep winning. They just keep
Sussy
winning.
for Rusty.
Tough. Sussy for Rusty. George Pickens continues to be the most exciting player in the NFL. He just does a crazy thing every week.
I was
and then
talking so bad about him. I was bad mouthing him to Ben, our roommate.
Bad mouthing him.
Yes, and instantly gets a touchdown thrown to him. I was like, God.
Oh,
Is it
this
because
week
he's
you were
on my
bad-mouthing?
fantasy team?
Yeah, it
Evan?
was. No, I was just bad mouthing. I think he's overrated. I don't think he's actually that good. He gets talked
he's
about too
good.
much, and then
He's
the ball
good.
gets thrown to him.
He's real good. Jerry Jones, Dookie.
Yeah, and the Cowboys, yeah. The
God, he's
comments
so
about the
butthurt today
curtain.
about his stadium.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Tear it down. Let's build a new one.
When they have curtains that they use for concerts. It's a crazy move. My last Pookie of the NFL in the whole week is Darren Rizzi. Shout out to him.
Oh,
That's a loser.
that's it.
The classic.
Yeah, I was double
Classic.
checking to make sure you guys knew his name.
Coach.
He's got that Riz. He's got
You
that
guys
Riz.
see he has a history of stingers and his whole body went numb when they were celebrating?
Yeah, dude, I thought he wasn't moving. I was freaked
Thought he
out.
tore his ACL or something.
Well, he wasn't moving. He was just like touching his player, and they wouldn't move. And I was like, "What's going
that
on?"
was super
I didn't see
weird.
that part. Thank God.
Darren Rizzi got the Saints
The
a win.
Rizzler.
The Rizzler.
He's the father of the Rizzler.
The Rizzler. Down in the bayou. All right. Lions football. Let's bring the boom. 8-1. Let me set the stage. We'll get to Alex. He was there. He can give us some notes on the ground.
Oh, roof
Just
open.
Roof open.
Your Lions are 8-1 for the first time since 1954. I don't know
Good
any
year.
fun facts about 1954. It feels like a fake year, honestly. Not sure.
Donald
what's going
Trump
on
was
there.
born.
I don't think
That's
so.
close.
It's not that far off.
7 straight wins ties our single season franchise record. So
Wow.
you can really say it. We are living through the best era
Wow.
of a Lions team
Wow.
ever.
Wow.
We're alive in our old mid-20s for this.
Wow.
Alex, you were there.
Yeah, it was.
That's the first year the microwave oven was produced, Grant.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
They just learned how to make Hot Pockets.
Wow.
A
Alex?
wiffle ball bat was invented that year.
Wow.
That feels too
got
late.
Introduced to Easter.
Peeps. That's too early.
Yes,
I would have thought they'd be
disgusting.
later.
Yummy.
Alex, thoughts
What?
on the experience of Houston? What takeaways did you have to share with people?
First of all, NRG is just in the middle of a bunch of parking lots.
First time there?
Yep. It's the Astrodome next to it, which is full of asbestos, and you can't really go in there.
Oh.
But it was like the first. I don't know why they haven't torn it down.
They tearing that down soon?
It's as best as it can. I don't know why it popped in my head.
The muffin video?
I'm doing the best I can.
His muffins. I don't know why it popped in my head. It's probably because
It's muffins as best as I can.
oh,
That's good stuff.
That's hilarious.
I don't know why it popped in my head.
You should Grant when I say that the Astrodome is asbestos, and then Evan says the muffin thing. Then put the clip of the muffins asbestos.
Okay.
Anyways, Astrodome asbestos, and then there's a convention center, the NRG Convention Center,
Nice.
and then NRG. That's it. That's like the only thing over there. There's a bunch of parking lots. It's not like downtown. There's our stadium, the Astros Stadium. Rockets are pretty close too. And then Energy's like 6 miles away. It's just not in the same spot. It's like the Palace, kind of, for reference. But anyways, got in. Stadium's fine. It's nothing special. Like the concourse isn't very cool. It's just like very bland. It's a very bland stadium.
The field
Not much
looked
going
very
on.
bright, very green in your photo.
Didn't feel that green, but I am colorblind. So.
And the red uniform. So, wow, what a nightmare.
It was all right. The roof open definitely made it look better. I was with people that had been there before, and they said the roof open looks way better.
Nice.
Closed.
77 degrees, I saw on the broadcast.
Beautiful weather. Just shorts, t-shirt. Not a breeze. Or a little bit of a breeze, I guess. It wasn't hot. Wasn't cold. Just perfect weather. A lot of Lions fans, probably 50-50 or so.
50-50.
Getting drinks before the game. This is Texans fans in front of me, looks at us, and he's like, "What the f-, man?" We're like, "What?" He's like, "Where'd you guys come from?" We're like, "Well, we live here." He's like, "Just take it easy on us tonight, man. There's more of you than we have here. It's just not fair." So they were pretty nice about it. They were definitely upset how many there were. I sat
People
by a
online
guy.
love that. They just love when there's like a bunch of away fans in a stadium. Just the pride that people feel.
Yeah, we took it over. The guy next to me was a Lions fan, of course. Pretty much everyone we were around was Lions fans. It's like two Texans fans in our area. Dude next to me, best whistler probably in the world.
If Andy Whistler was there,
What was this technique?
I don't know what this dude was doing. He was directly on my right. I tried not to look at him because he's kind of weird, an old guy. Just whistling like every second and third down when we're on defense. So loud. You could hear him from the parking lot.
It's the Vandy Whistler.
Chelsea's baseball coach.
I could not hear until like 4 hours ago. It was that bad. He just blew out my eardrums with his whistling.
But he's a Lions fan.
Yeah, he was. He was kind of annoying. He would, when we were on offense, we're on the road. Let's remember it right. We're on the road. This is not a home game.
50-50. You walked in that trap. You took over that trap.
Okay, but we're still technically
Kirk Cousins. Alex did the speech before the game with the people around him.
We're on the road. We're on offense. Texans fans are getting loud. He starts like looking at everyone. Go, shh, 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 shh. I'm like, buddy, we're on the road. You're not going to get people to be quiet. He's like, no. Shh, 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 shh. It's like looking at all these Texans fans and I'm just looking at him getting louder. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. This is not going to work. Knock it off. But anyways, so that guy, interesting kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man. Then we had like 4 Lions fans behind us also lived in Houston, just happened to be Lions fans or from Michigan. Hilarious dudes. They were making jokes all game long. Not appropriate for this show, but some very funny jokes that had me peeing my pants at one point. But other than that, their little bowl thing they have where they come out of the tunnel and they have that little mechanical bowl above it that shoots smoke out of it. That thing is awesome. I want one for my apartment.
You're a Lions fan now.
You just wake up, get ready for work, and I come out to the bowl shooting smoke. That'd be sick.
Or you have a girl over and it's like, you're trying to get into the bedroom and it's got red lights and you're like
check it out. So that thing was pretty cool.
Too far.
They shot fireworks off. That was pretty cool. Apparently there's a country music halftime show, but I did not watch it. So
who was it?
Shabuzi. I have no idea.
No, it wasn't.
We're having Shabuzi.
It wasn't like a popular name. I mean, Evan would probably
Parker McCollum probably, and he missed it.
Oh, it was not Parker McCollum. I think I would
probably
know.
Was.
It wasn't.
Nice.
The game sucked. To be honest. I did not have fun for about 3 quarters.
Never thought about leaving, right? Or did you?
No. I had a weird feeling at all times that we could get within 1 score or have a chance with the ball. I didn't know if we'd actually take the lead and win, but I never thought that we couldn't get back into it.
Yeah, I can't say the same for myself. And I know exactly
I was also in person, so a little more charged up. I was pretty discouraged after Carlton got the pick right away, second half, and then we threw a pick. Then it was a sinking feeling. I'm like, ugh.
And we did it again.
So then I went to get a drink, came back, and then we finally scored.
The
Montgomery touchdown.
The last pick, the 5th pick, is when I thought this isn't happening tonight for sure. Because I think we forget the second half it was just chaos factory. We get the pick. Alex, have you seen this? Did you see the clip of Dan Campbell's interview while the pick happened?
No.
You have to go find it.
Right out of the halftime. They just overplayed it with the on-field play.
So, context, they filmed that with, what's her name, Melissa? Melissa Stark? Yeah, she's NBC,
Tony
right?
Stark's wife?
Melissa Stark interviewing Dan. How'd that first half go? He's like, blah, blah. We got to get a takeaway. We have to get a takeaway on defense. And they're overlaying it, right, to Evan's point. It's pre-recorded. It's not live. But as he's saying we need a pick or a takeaway, Carlton Davis picks it off. And Chris Collinsworth just loses it. He's like, oh, my God, Mike, have we ever seen that in the history of football? The words from, he said, generational. It was insane. And then I just thought, oh, my God, we're winning this football game. And then we throw a pick. I'm like, shit. And then we end up scoring, blah, blah. But then, when I thought it's just not our night, because I'm glass half full always, was when Goff, uncharacteristically, we get a first down with Gibbs. Shout out to Gibbs, 12-yard run on the 20. We're at the 32, first down. No need to push, no need to press. We just throw a ball 50 yards downfield. That was a one-on-one ball, and JMO just couldn't get his head around, and it was just not the best throw and got picked. Yeah. I thought for sure after that, I was like, okay, we've got to 10 points, but we're running out of time. They're going to beat us. No, and we can get into it more. Evan, what was your viewing? Did you stay up for the whole thing? Did you give up?
I gave up.
You definitely stayed.
I knew Evan. I knew it. He was quiet. I was like, Evan, for sure. When did you go to bed?
Right at halftime. Then I turned on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Right when everybody was blowing up that we got the interception of halftime.
Yeah.
Turned it on. As soon as I turned it on, that thing buffered into play.
We
boom,
threw a pick.
Interception. Cleared all the apps. Laid my head to rest. Woke up to 139 text messages on my phone.
Jeez.
And I was just like, whatever. Cleared them all. Saw a minor scored a touchdown. I was like, you probably got a garbage touchdown late in the game. Doesn't mean anything.
Oh, no.
Went back to my text messages and just read from the most recent up. And a lot of them was said Bates. And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Closed the text messages, instantly opened up ESPN. I was like, no, we won 26-23. Couldn't believe it.
That was probably a better feeling than watching it.
I think
going to bed knowing you
less
lost,
stressful.
and then you wake up and you're like, holy shit, we won. Unbelievable.
I like the idea too of like you cleared out all the text, like get these notifications out, and then you're like, maybe I'll read, and you're like, oh, wait a second, following along here from backwards. Did we win this football game?
It's basically how it was. It was like there's no shot we even came close.
True, like we've joked, it's crazy we keep winning. It's wild as Lions fans that we just keep winning games. This was probably the epitome of that. This game was just dead. So many different points of this game. It just felt like not your night. We talked about how we're due for a letdown spot. Even the best teams slip up and have uncharacteristic losses from the jump.
We're still going to have one of those. Let's remember that.
We're definitely due. If we're talking about, well, no, this was the one.
So due.
We got away with it. Now, this was a bigger picture schedule thought I had. I saw a tweet that kind of encapsulated this stretch here. This just the last 5 games. Obviously, Dallas is what it is going into the season. It's changed the expectations of them. But if you had looked at our stretch here, at Dallas, at Minnesota, home Tennessee, whatever, cupcake, at Green Bay, at Houston, going into the year, that was like a kind of a pivotal stretch where you're like, ooh, Green Bay, Houston, we went 5-0. We just beat every single team on that schedule. And now you look at the next 3 games, you have the Colts in there, Jaguars, and the Bears. I mean, before you play the Packers and Bills, and then you still have the Niners and Vikings. But like in a really sense, obviously, it's the NFL. Any team could be anybody, but you should be 11-1 hosting Green Bay on a Thursday night in Detroit.
I hate the Thursday night game. Such a joke.
But it's nice though, Evan, that
after a Thursday,
you get a week off.
I get that, but it's such a joke.
And then you get a mini bye before the Bills, which we will need because they are a physical football team and we don't do well with Josh Allen. But I mean, it's the bigger picture that we went 5-0 in that stretch.
5-0, bunch of road games, had one home game in over a month.
Outdoor game for Goff on Sunday.
Outdoor game.
Not good for his outdoor stats.
That's why he was so bad.
Houston.
I'm talking about the Green Bay one.
No. He was outdoors in Houston, and that's why he struggled.
The wind tunnel of the roof caused a couple picks.
He thought it was going to be open. So
let's cut the picks thing in the bud. I mean, yes, there's 5, but like there's really 2 picks that were thrown in that game. The first one, maybe you could argue, don't try to force that if a guy's coming, but like how many times do we see a quarterback throw that just by a guy's fingertip and then they get 20 yards on a screenplay? Whatever. The second one could have been a sack fumble. It just happens that they caught it. Honestly, looking at it from a stats perspective, that could have been a sack fumble. Honestly.
Not a pick for me.
Before a half Hail Mary shouldn't even count. That's just stupid to add on there. And then
did not see that one.
The Laporta one, even it looked like he was frustrated with the route. I don't know who to blame on that. It's probably a mix of both of them. Just weird communication between those two. And then the only one that was really bad was the last one. That was just like
the JMO one.
The JMO deep ball was
the perfect angle of that. One. Right when he let it go, I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing?
You saw it from the jump.
We all looked at each other like, oh no, this is.
Oh no.
He just threw it up into double coverage.
If it was Tim Patrick, maybe he like gets him in there and makes the play, but it's JMO.
But Jared didn't even look. He just chucked it.
First down too. Like if that was third down and long or fourth down, fine. But first down was too much.
Gabe forced it.
So yeah, no. I mean, again, we've reached the point though of Jared's career where I'm not concerned with him.
I'm not concerned.
He had a bad game. Whatever. It does suck for his season interception total. I think he's up to 9 now after one game. But again, it's like if you're box score watching, it looks worse than it is. Other thoughts? Obviously, you remember this one is the Jake Bates game. This is a game that, I mean, let's think about this. Our history of watching the Lions. We had Hansen for our younger years when we were terrible, but he was Mr. Reliable. Like you could set your watch to Jason Hansen. Then we had a little bit of a Matt Prater in there. He was reliable, but then we were so bad we didn't want to pay him. Rightfully so. No need to spend up big on a kicker when you're not good yourselves. And now we've kind of been in kicker purgatory, where last year it was a massive storyline in the year where part of Dan's aggressiveness was because he didn't trust our kickers, and we cycled through them all.
Well, we made a 55-yarder in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think people do forget that.
I don't.
But the point remains, you can't disagree, unless they're trying to disagree with me. But it's been a problem. It has not been consistent for a while. You get this kid from the Michigan Panthers. They told us a million times on the broadcast he was selling bricks. First kicker in NFL history, guys, to have a 55-plus yard tying field goal and a 50 or more game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter of the same game. How about that for a stat?
Like Colby said, just some of the stats make me laugh. That's a decent one. But like the ones where Colby texted in the middle of the game, he's like, I can't wait to see how Goff, when he throws 4 interceptions, we get outgained by the Texans. He becomes the first quarterback after trailing in 3 quarters to win and be the 1 in 266 all time. And then the actual stat is the quarterback throw 5 picks in a game and win. They're 1 in 24. Could you guys name the last one? If you already know, don't answer.
I heard someone say it today.
Last quarterback to throw 5 picks in a game and win. 2012.
Kurt Warner.
Patrick Mahomes.
2012.
Oh, Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Correct.
It came back to me today. Yeah, I did hear that.
Don't know.
But we did outgain them. So Colby was wrong on that part.
Yeah, but it's just funny that Joe Burrow lost on Thursday night with the stats that he put up, and then Jared Goff's
Jared Goff won.
And
That's
Jared
sicko.
Goff won.
That's some sicko shit. That's a great point, Evan. That is gross to be. This is a weird league that we live in. I'm gonna stick with the positives before any like little negatives that might linger.
Before we get to that, Grant, I just want to say I am thankful because Detroit
For
Lions
Thanksgiving.
fans, correct. Detroit Lions fans, Michigan State fans, Michigan fans are some of the worst like overreaction fans like I've ever been around. And if we didn't win that game, how many people would be asking for Goff's job?
No, you think
Grant,
so?
Yes.
Did you see the text during the game?
Maybe Evan's probably right. I also don't know. Like, is it just the state of Michigan, or I feel like LSU fans seem pretty like over dramatic about their team too. I feel like that's just like our fans in general.
Come on,
maybe
Nuss,
like
baby, come on, Nuss, we need to drive here, boy. I believe in you, boy. Come on.
Maybe Boston fans, like since they've won so much, they don't overreact to as many losses because they know like things can still work out. I don't know, but I feel like a lot of fan bases like overreact to stuff.
Whatever, it's not the point. The point is
Like,
people
on their
would have
quarterback,
been calling for Jared Goff's job.
for.
Yes.
Like, let's say Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes throws 5 interceptions a game. They're going to ask for his job. He'd be like, yeah, he's washed. We want a different quarterback.
No.
I don't think they're doing that. I don't think if Jordan Love throws 5 interceptions a game, I don't think they're doing that.
Well, Connor would.
We just have to get to a point where like you guys got there with Childs, where there with Goff, where like I just don't.
We should be there with Goff, like full trust, 40 years, here we go.
Yeah, if someone were like, I don't think Goff's the guy, and they looked at me, I would just like respectfully be like, I just disagree with you. I think you're
Hendon
dead wrong
Hooker's
on
still
that.
a waste of a draft pick. I stand on that grave.
Oh, I saw him on the sideline.
That's your own personal agenda that you're roping in.
Waste of a draft pick. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying it was a waste of a draft pick for where the Lions are going. It'd be nice if that was a defensive end right now, wouldn't it?
Well, Za'Darius.
I'm excited to see him play.
Justin
We need.
I just watched his
Get a
interview.
dude out there who shit himself playing.
No, he said on Gatorade. He tweeted about it. That's what he said.
Bullshit. That's what I would say
He
too.
said on Gatorade.
It's the Paul Pierce I need to get off in a stretcher because I shit myself.
He was laughing about it too. He's like, I can't believe it. He said, I don't know how he worded the tweet, but it made me laugh. He was like,
Sit on
he put
Gatorade.
He put the poop emoji. What was your Alex? What was your view? I can tell you. I'll give you ours.
I was on like the 10-yard line.
No, not
was
like
that
that.
kick into your
Of the field goals.
field goal?
Of
The
field
field
goals.
goal.
Oh, that was into
in your
my
end zone?
upright.
So you
I
can't
had to
miss
watch
a
this.
bad angle.
I'll watch the screen.
Oh, I was going to say it's a bad angle. It's not away from you.
When you're in- Go ahead.
When there's like a game-winning field goal or game-time field goals needed for my teams, I usually I'm the type of person that doesn't like to watch.
What?
So while everyone was standing, I sat.
I usually don't watch. Okay,
On
but
TV, do you do that too?
Yeah, I like look away. And just
ever
hope
since the Little
to God
Giants,
they make it.
ever
Oh my
since the
God.
Little Giants game-winning field goal, I have.
Yeah,
to
you
watch
don't want to
it
miss
now.
out.
Don't want to miss
Just in
out.
case.
I walked
Oh,
away from the TV
right.
during that game, and it was a fake field goal. Missed it all. Son of a bitch. So
That
I
sucks.
will watch.
Actually, it's traumatizing.
But if that, like from that angle, I usually watch like a lot of the players. Like the
Yeah, I
players.
just
went to-
can't stomach it.
If
Makes
Evan
me
went to
nervous.
therapy, he'd be on the couch and they'd be unpacking trauma, and he'd be like, "I missed the Little Giants play when I was a kid, and it stuck with me ever since." The hard part about that's why I asked, because in stadiums I can never tell if they make it unless you're like sitting in an end zone and looking at it. But like from the side, I can never tell if they make it or not.
Well,
I
they
just stare at
showed
the
the
refs.
camera, the video screen. It was straight on, so you
Board.
could see
It was like TV kind of.
yeah, it was the same.
I've never seen like
You can't get it closer.
you can't. And they looked. The first one looked a little bit, but they both started kind of outside the post and curled in. Like they both did not look great off of his foot.
I thought the second one was straight on the whole time. It was just barely in, never moved. The
No, I
first
think it's-
one came out.
He usually
and
has a fade. he usually fades his kicks, and that one did not fade at all. The second one.
I know for a fact the second one didn't move. It was just right there the whole time. Right down the line.
Wild and great for him. Good for him. Big moment for him.
Did his job.
Did his job more than. And then we had Mr. Reliable Farrenbairn miss one right before then. So I thought for sure Bates was missing his.
Bad snap.
And then he tried to kill it, and then that's what happens. You try to overpower it.
Bad hold, tried to kill it, pulled it.
Boom.
Just like I do on the golf course.
Uncle Snappy comes out.
You guys think they should have gone for that there, potentially?
No, Fairbairn's been like the best kicker.
4th and 4 at Detroit's 40.
We're going to talk about Terry and Arnold's obvious DPI they just didn't call.
Let's wait a second. Because I think this. We'll put up. Yeah, I will remember to go back to that. But this field goal decision here is, I think, why when people give Dan shit is why you end up winning some of the games that we do. Is that I could tell you this: if it was 4th and 4 at the Houston 40, I'm pretty sure. Maybe with Bates now it's different, but I'm pretty sure we're going for it. We're going to get that first down. We're going to ice the game out with a field goal and win. I think D'Amico. Fairbairn's awesome.
Not there
but
yet.
Like 58-yarder, it just backfired. And then we did this against the Vikings in Dan's first year.
Yeah, second game.
Backfired.
Second year.
Second year.
Second game.
Yeah. We tried the field goal, missed it. They went around and won. I just think that's why when he makes risky decisions, I remember these moments. Like, I kind of like that our coach just goes for it. To Terry and Arnold's point.
That was TPI.
It was. He has a problem where he doesn't know how to throttle down. It's really bad.
Jumped on his back.
He is full go, and I'm going to say the nice thing. He's always in phase. He's never like...
Yeah, he's there.
He's not cooked on a lot of these, but he does not have the Brian Branch finesse where like he either contorts his body or he slows down enough to time the ball. It's like he plays the man with never knowing where the ball's at.
Which is an issue.
The thing that bailed us about that play, which is why I think football gods is the reason it was fine. Again, I'm biased. Obviously, I want the Lions to win. But Anzalone was there with his hand as well. I don't think that pass was being completed, even if he wasn't running through his back.
Well, I say that, but at the same time, if he doesn't run through his back, does he get another 2 yards past Anzalone?
I don't think. I think the ball was. I think the ball
was the ball already out.
Was like behind him though.
It might have been just a bad throw.
I think, yeah, I don't think it was like super catchable. It was. And it's one, like much like the LA Rams playoff game where we've come to realize that maybe we're not going to get burned on these calls that we used to in the past because we used to be on the other side of all of those. But like the Rams one that we sealed the game on when Anzalone just decked, I think, Nakua, and nothing happened there. So we just don't apologize because we were on the other end of all those.
At the same time, they didn't score a point the whole second half. So I would just say, if you don't want to be in that situation, you just score one touchdown.
And in the first half, when they were gifted field position, they had 3 field goals to keep us in the game.
That doesn't beat the Detroit Lions. I said that killed us. It's like those field goals will be a problem.
Down 23-7, yes. You were yapping to people at halftime.
I said to some dude in the conference,
like Kevin Millar, don't let us get one.
I'm like, against this team, you can't get field goals. I said it.
Alex watches the comeback series and he turns into Kevin Millar at NRG Stadium.
Just wanted
don't let us get one.
I told you I had a weird sense that we would get back into it at pretty much all times.
And a big credit goes to the defense. They played phenomenal for all the spots they were put in. I think the craziest thing to me about this team defensively, obviously the edge rushing is what it is because no Hutch, but Terry and Arnold aside, again, I still like him. He's playing his heart out there. Just got to clean some things up. The secondary that we've had, the jump that we had from what we had at the end of last year is remarkable. There was a stat today floating around. We're the only team in the NFL with 3 players that have 8 passes defensed and 2 interceptions apiece. Obviously, Carlton got his 2 picks in this game. But just the safeties, just the reliable safeties, Kirby in the pass game, Branch both in the run and the pass. He played phenomenal. He had 10 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 passes defense, and a QB hit in this game. He was all over the field. Our secondary is so much better than last year, and it's like the biggest reason why we pull games like this out because they just make plays everywhere.
I didn't know our PFF grades. We're going to use them because we're like them because they're in our favor. PFF grades, Alex, on the broadcast. PFF, Kirby Joseph is ranked what, Alex? Guess.
Number 1, safety.
Brian Branch, PFF grade. He's ranked
number
what?
1.
Number 2.
Oh, because they're the same position on PFF or what?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just out of 80-some safeties, I guess. So we have the number 1 and number 2 graded safeties.
And they have
Pro Football
both.
Focus.
They have the most picks as a duo in the NFL.
Correct.
As well.
They have a lot. They probably have at least 9, right?
Kirby
Maybe
has
10.
5. Branch has
Brian has
4.
4.
Kirby has 6. Somewhere around there.
It's a lot. Now Carlson's got 2.
We got Iffy
And
coming back.
and their 2 duo safeties, neither of them have allowed. I don't know about after the game. Technically, I don't know who the touchdowns were against. They haven't allowed a touchdown on them.
You gonna let Iffy play some third down snaps when he comes back, or is he gonna get on the field?
Maybe.
Who?
Remember what he did at the end of last year? He was very good.
Hero. Clinched the division. Iffy Melifonwu.
And had a pick against Dallas.
We have a Mosley coming back too.
Mosley's never going to play.
I don't think
he shouldn't play.
I don't know.
Well, Terry Arnold keeps
2 years without playing NFL football.
Throw him against the Jags. Give a guy's breather.
Oh, Brian Thomas Jr. can cook someone.
Yeah, now with Mac Jones throwing, they scored 7 points.
Yeah, I watched Mac Jones throw nuts.
Also, shout out defensively, Aleem the Dream. Big presence in that game.
Why'd you guys think he was hurt?
He was for a second.
He was down, but it wasn't.
He got walked off with trainers.
Yeah, he looked totally fine.
Yeah, but like when I sent the text, they just panned to him and he was laying on the ground and he's bawling out. So I was panicked when you just see him laying down.
He like made
and someone just got hurt
gesture right before that. He was like on the ground, like talking to people.
Well, hey,
looked fine.
I wasn't in the big seats. I was just telling what Chris and Mike were telling me.
Yeah,
2 tackles for loss from him. A lot of pressures in the game when we need them from other people. So that's defensively. Offensively, Gibbs played great. It was a Gibbs game. His speed was like what we needed. They were just that defense, dude. D'Amico was basically like the Bucks. I thought D'Amico's going to be. He already is a good coach. He was flustering us all night long. That defense was sweet. That was the biggest alarming point to me of the negative side is like the physicality that they were able to impose on us. Like we were getting bullied for, lack of a better term, through large chunks of that game. We just kind of withheld it and found some energy towards the end to bully them back a little bit. But it was mainly because Gibbs, like he just loved Montgomery and he's still awesome. And I need them to keep getting splits. But like in some games when it's really physical and they're trying to get downhill, Gibbs gives you that option where if he hits that hole, that he can go for like 25 yards in a flash. Like it's yeah.
Nice knowing you.
Anyways, I think what Grant was trying to say was Dan Skipper not very good. Taylor Decker would have been better. Evan, thoughts?
I think the offensive line as a whole struggled. I think a lot of it was just the way that their defensive line were setting up. They kind of got the Gunther Cunningham wide 9, full out, full pressure, run or pass. It wasn't really like run fits. It was more of a full speed rush into your lanes, into your gaps, and kind of like more of a pinch look. And that's why like a lot of time we kind of swipe across, pull somebody, and a kick out on a power or trap, like a tight end comes across too. And that wasn't even there because the speed and the edge were just sink inside of it that we couldn't get that. So like you're aiming opposite A gap, opposite B gap, and Gibbs or Montgomery's able to kick it back because we have that kick out block. But if they're diving inside, I think the timing and mesh points of most of our run scheme was just off.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
It was confusing because what Evan was saying, Godspeed, like goodbye, it kind of made sense with the point I was making. So I thought we were all just like going along. But to your point, Evan, with that speed rush, that's what I was saying is like, I love Montgomery, but like sometimes if he identifies the right hole, he's still too slow. He'll get kind of caught up in all. But where Gibbs shines in these games with that speed rush, if he hits the little gap they give him, he can expose them for like 20 yards because there's no one behind.
Just running back through the line of scrimmage.
And it showed. Also, credit to their Aziz Al-Shair, their middle linebacker. They did some spotlights on him chasing down Gibbs, and holy shit, was he just playing out of his mind.
Former Titan.
Yeah. basically followed D'Amico everywhere he's gone. But yeah, it was a little alarming. Tao just pointed about the offensive line. They definitely got bored a little bit. Yeah, even Sewell though gave up that
Autry fumble pick, actually pick the interception.
Gave up the pick. Yeah, I guess you could say he didn't get up a sack.
Some dudes later. He plowed some dudes over. Like late in the game, Sewell was just running people over. It was awesome.
I kept pointing to Marissa, like she'd look up they do the slow-mo, like watch 56 butt and just follow that. Watch that thing move and then how we run off of it.
There was one time when we threw the little like a screen pass, not really screen pass, but whatever, to Gibbs. And I looked up and I see Sewell in front of him. I'm like, oh, this is a first down. Don't even have to watch. It's a guarantee. If he's leading the charge, he will blow someone over and Gibbs will run past them.
He was like stride for stride with Gibbs at one point in that run. I was like,
no, it's over. Dead.
The lone bright spots. Well,
we won the football game.
Of the receiving. Lone bright spots of the receiving. J-Mo. 3 catches were all really impressive.
First one I would have liked him to just catch originally.
So hit it with his palms to let it drop
suspended,
down.
He's back in game
I said that to the guy behind me. He's like, he's working back into things. He's working back into
I can't believe he caught all 3 of them.
The last one was ridiculous. I don't know how he held on to that.
Yeah, lit up from the front, then lit up from the back. Got hurt for a second and held on to everything.
I think his brother was in my section.
Oh.
I can't confirm this, but like the dude looked exactly like him. And when J-Mo would do something, he would walk up and down the aisle just screaming, showing people his chains like this. And then he was taking pictures of people. So pretty sure I saw J-Mo's brother, and he was a proud brother, to say the least.
That's sweet. Love that.
Yeah.
Impressive catches. Most impactful ones, I think, like not touchdowns, obviously, but just needed completions in that game. Other guy, Mr. Consistency, Sun God Amin-Ra, 7 straight games with a touchdown. Just all he does in a age of football where like receivers are like really good, have really stinkers sometimes. He just catches touchdowns every single week, no matter the formation. So shout out to him for that. And then the one for Goff's struggles, his throw to Laporta, 37-yarder across the field was nice. Was on a frozen rope in his chest that set up the Montgomery touchdown.
Way out to the right.
Yeah, it was real nice. So definitely some things that the coaching staff who's smarter than us will need to clean up about how they, don't let this be a blueprint for other teams of how to play the Detroit offense. And I think you saw Ben Johnson start to figure it out. He just basically used their aggressiveness against them the entire second half and ran those screens, ran different types of plays. But really, it was just screens. We just kept running screens. It's like, just keep running them because they're just flying downhill. And we kept getting chunk plays. So,
are you guys worried at all?
How could I be worried? We're 8-1. We just played our worst game in 1.
There's times where like teams, like if I was a Chiefs fan, right, and they're 9-0, and then you look at every single game they've played this year, and it's come down to the last possession in every game they've played. That's a sign where you'd be like, oh, maybe like I'd be worried that this could easily run out in the playoffs type of deal. With the Lions, we're blowing teams out other than this game, so it's not like a really big worry. I have no worries about the Lions. I was just curious what you thought. But like, I can see how a Chiefs fan would be like, oh, I don't know if we have.
I don't have any worries about the team. I think Goff's ever going to throw 5 interceptions a game again, ever, as a Lion? No. How many teams can repeat the exact replica of what the Texans have? Not many, if any. Like, there's not many teams with that front 7. I mean, although they were missing Will Anderson, the linebackers, the versatility of their safeties, like they're coming off of like a mini bye, technically, because they played on the Thursday before. At home, they wore probably the nicest helmets I've ever seen an NFL team wear.
Really?
I didn't like their uniforms.
I didn't like that.
Oh, I was all over them.
Wow. You like big logos, though. You love big logos on helmets.
It was subtle with the little horns and just the red chrome. I don't know. It popped. I was all for it.
It did pop. It was bright.
I did not like their uniforms. I
Mike
thought they were
Chris
terrible.
Hated them. They actually said multiple times, like, we can't tell the numbers. We're sorry.
I don't give a shit. Get better eyes. Farts.
They gave.
Nobody wants
they
them
say,
on TV. Anybody. Anyways,
they kept giving
I
John
like
Mechie catches to Tank Dell. They kept getting those 2, 3, and 8 confused. Like, we're sorry, we can't see the numbers. These uniforms are terrible.
I didn't like him.
I'm not nervous. I don't think Chiefs fans. The thing that makes me not nervous, to your point, it's a fair question, is because I've already seen us have success in the playoffs. Like if last year, if we'd lost the Rams game, I'd be a lot more nervous about just like success this year and be like, well, it only matters if we win that first game because we got stuff to prove still. It's like, yeah, we all want to go to the Super Bowl, but I've watched this team battle tested win 2 playoff games. So it's not like I'm sitting here being like, oh, if we slip up to the Texans,
2.5 playoff games,
2.5 if we want to go that far. Yeah. So no, if we lost to the Rams and didn't have that taste of winning in the playoffs, I'd be more nervous and be like, just give me the playoffs. That's all that matters. What we have to prove. But we've already proved we can go to the conference title game and win it if we don't have some crazy things happen.
Yeah. Someone today at work, I don't know if they were trolling or not, but they're like, when are you guys going to beat someone good? And I was like, I mean, I don't know what you want from us.
That's just, we're that much better than other teams.
Like,
we make other teams
I'm
look
sorry
bad.
we make everyone look terrible. Like, there's nothing.
We suck.
Sorry we handled the Packers. The Vikings.
Sorry the Rams are
close.
rebuilding.
Sorry we're not in the NFC or AFC.
And I was just like, but we beat the Packers, Vikings, and Texans all on the road in a span of 4 weeks. How many other teams are doing that?
Yeah.
None. It'll be funny though when we lose some shit game, and then people will be quick to jump on us.
Pitchforks will be out.
The only thing that matters is one, our health, and like I want to like still kind of be playing good ball at the end. You don't want to fizzle into the playoffs, but I don't think it'll matter, especially if we're the 1 seed. And 2, to Alex's point, just this year's about the 1 seed. That's all we are after. We want 2 home games
every
to
game
go
in
to the
Detroit.
Super Bowl.
I can't see a scenario of us not getting there. If we play 2 games at home, it will be. I'll have to look for reasons to think we'd lose.
Yeah,
we'd have to mentally implode, which we did in the NFC Championship game last year.
The biggest X factor to me right now,
Niners.
Well, yes, but the other team I'm going to mention hasn't played anyone good recently. You want to talk about that, but the Eagles are playing better ball, and I just like you put the names. This is I think an Evan point he'd go along with. You put the names Hurts, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Saquon on a football field. I just feel like we'd be in a track meet, and that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that would be scary.
Like, those are just big names, and I'm not trying to get blinded by names, but that is just a hard set of talent.
Nick Sirianni can't coach, so.
Well, he did. He should have won a Super Bowl. So yeah, we can make fun of him, but
he's a loser.
He should have won a Super Bowl.
Detroit fans would get after him.
If we would, he would have some bad clips that game for sure of going after people. I mean, Kelly Stafford's kids, like she got wound up too. We have that.
All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's win the NFC North. Goal number 1.
I don't feel like really talking about the Jacksonville. We're favored by 13 points. 13 points spread.
This is a big letdown spot.
It's not though.
Last time we were favored by 13, we won by 45. So
they're playing Mac Jones still. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Lawrence
will be
could
out
come
another
back.
week. For what? To die again?
No, I mean, that's fair.
So
it's going to be Zadarius Smith show.
3 sacks.
Yeah, he definitely will have a sack. Probably a strip sack.
He's for sure going to do. Oh, I would love. He'll do the Hutch Stanky. Like I know he will. He'll have looked it up. He'll do it, and then he'll do one where he crawls on the ground like he's going under a barricade.
Walker ball out. Yes,
he's actually been good this year.
Yeah,
he should be.
Every time I see him, he's making plays. Something like that.
He did cost them the game though. He punched a guy in the face for 15 yards.
He's trying to get the ball.
Whoa.
He did.
Blame it on the offense. They only gave up 12 points.
Yeah, no, they played well.
The whole Justin Jefferson under 12 points, not your fault.
Trayvon Walker's strip sack on Jared Goff's gonna have Evan standing up on his couch,
cheer or be upset.
Not wearing pants,
lathered up,
shirt off, pants off, jumping up and down on his couch when that happens.
This could be the job that gets what's his face fired. Although I feel like they would have already done it, but not really sure what they're holding out for.
3 touchdowns. I think we're gonna get a Craig Reynolds touchdown.
I think their owners like that, like super nice. Well, they fired Urban Meyer like two games into the season. Well, they kind of had to.
Well,
he's a scumbag.
He didn't beat. He pushed him over
Kicked
with
him.
his foot.
Kicked his kicker.
who was a scumbag. So honestly, maybe Urban knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a prediction like 40-10. Just don't pick a number, pick a score the Lions want to get to is basically how this game will go. Their defense is atrocious. Anything from you guys? Prediction?
It's the Jags. I liked their white helmets last week.
Like what we did to
I
the
did too.
Titans, I hope the same thing happens.
Special team game.
It's going to be like the unsung
let's give
hero
Vaki a
players.
touchdown. Do you see Vaki's double tackle?
That was sick.
Body
Disgusting. Yeah, let's get him a touchdown.
Yeah, get him some carries.
Tim Patrick a touchdown. Get Tim Patrick.
Get Allen Robinson a catch. Come on.
He already has one.
He has one.
Last week.
He did not have one in.
I guess. Yeah, he did.
Not
I
this
texted
week.
about it.
2 weeks ago.
Packers game.
Yeah, he had one catch for like 3
They're
yards.
like Dontavian Wicks. Basically, anyone not named Jay and Reed was dropping passes. And it was so funny to me knowing Connor that we just throw Allen Robinson out there to move the sticks.
Well, he was very good at one point.
Well, I know, but he's also Detroit product too. Shout out.
Yeah.
Let's quickly move to college football. I don't really have anything for the Michigan State Illinois game. My only question for you is who's more likely to make a bowl game between our two schools?
What's your record?
We need to beat Northwestern is all you need to know.
Oh.
We have 2 games left.
You
guys have
3 games
Purdue
left.
and Rutgers, Illinois, 3 games. You need to win 2 of those.
I think Michigan State wins out. I'm going to just say it now.
Hell yeah. Let's go, Alex. Be 7-5.
Yeah. And then we're going to
That'd be
play
big.
in the Music City Bowl in Nashville.
Oh, save
Yes.
my ass.
8-5 would be nice if you win that one.
We would play someone decent, though, in the Music City Bowl. Probably get
Probably
out.
somebody in the
Arkansas?
SEC.
Yeah, some SEC team.
Arkansas,
Probably some
8-5.
actually
Michigan
10
State.
and 2 SEC team because they're all going to be 10 and 2.
Be LSU in the Music City Bowl.
No.
Get
You can't.
shit
Nuss.
housed.
We'd get
Nuss would have his way.
spanked.
Who's covering Kyron Lacey?
Also, fun fact, Baton Rouge and East Lansing are both exactly 8 hours from Nashville.
That's crazy.
That is
How do you know
crazy.
that?
Because we were looking it up at work today.
Because you're all driving to the Music City Bowl.
We'll go to the Music City Bowl.
Oh, let's play like Missouri or Oklahoma.
The bowl projection I
or-
saw for Michigan State today was the Birmingham Bowl in Alabama. Beat this
Oh.
Versus UAB. Trent Dilfer.
against some
Navy.
shitty.
I want to watch you guys play at Naval Academy.
Charlotte.
That would be fun.
The other bowl projection I saw was what is the pizza bowl called now? It's like
Pizza Bowl.
Little
Good
Caesars
Sports.
Pizza Bowl, Motor City Bowl.
Oh, it's not the Quick Lane Bowl anymore.
It's like the Go Higher Bowl.
Play it against Sports Bowl.
It's
I don't know what
it's
it
something
is, dude.
like that. It's like Play It More Sports Bowl or
Yeah,
something.
it is. The game above Sports Bowl. The game above sports.
Yeah, the game
That's what
above
it's called.
Sports Bowl against Eastern Michigan. Probably win by
Ew. It's a
20.
lot of green.
We got bowl eligible, and they didn't even let us play in the Quick Lane Bowl. Like we were asking, the Quick Lane Bowl was like subtweeting Michigan State.
Yeah, they wanted us, but we didn't.
Yes,
We
they
didn't
didn't
go.
get it. We went to
Coveting you like a pretty girl.
what was that the year that we went to the Pinstripe Bowl against Wake Forest?
Oh yeah, that's a way better
Mm.
game.
Just
Yeah, I hope they turn down the Ford Field one and play somewhere else.
Anything for this game and coming up?
Yeah, I got one.
2:30 kicks kind of weird.
Yeah, we're not used to that.
No, it's
Is it
weird.
actually 2:30 Eastern or 2:30?
Oh,
Eastern, baby.
it's just 1:30
2:30.
for me. That's
It's
so
1:30
weird.
Alex
I'm
time.
playing golf
What?
Saturday morning.
What channel is
so-
this on?
Fox
FS1.
1.
Oh,
So we're standalone.
actually, I
Nice.
don't know why. The
Yeah. Standalone.
Standalone power
Uh,
conference game.
What's your one
You
take,
sure it's
Alex?
2:30?
I
The
swear
one
to God.
take is I don't think Illinois is very good, and that we're gonna win.
2:30? What the
The
hell are
Luke
they doing before
Altmaier
and
revenge
after?
game, though. You talked a lot of shit about him to start the year.
Yeah, I still think he
There
sucks.
better not be any good noon games on at that time.
He's
I'm
got
gonna be
moxie.
pissed.
If you want to talk about moxie, he's got
We're
moxie.
going to beat them by 10. 10
By
nothing.
10?
Pitt sucks.
The games this week are terrible, Evan.
I have no
Oh, trust me, I'm looking.
prediction for the game. I really don't.
You guys
I
play
don't know.
Northwestern this week, or are you off?
Off.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter though.
It's on Tuesday.
I'll go
Yeah, I don't have
Illinois
any takes.
21, MSU 20.
Why? Why not just pick us?
Because I think you lost the bye week.
Oh,
We won the bye
we
week
won our
last time.
bye week. Yeah, we
Spanked
skulled
Iowa out of the.
that
That's
bye
true.
week.
Maybe. All right, fine. 24-21, Michigan
Yeah.
State.
Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
Megatron.
I got
Nick
us
Marsh.
winning 18-16. How I'm going to get there? I have no idea.
Oh, I will not be watching this.
24-13. Spartans.
Oh.
Spartans.
Which is probably
All
a
right.
terrible take because I think we have a bunch of true freshmen playing in the secondary. But whatever. We'll find out. Go green. Michigan State basketball plays Bowling Green that day.
Oh,
No, we don't.
which is the worst game
Yes,
to
we do.
watch.
We play them at 6 o'clock. Just a 2:30 right into the 6 o'clock Michigan State all-you-can-eat buffet.
Great scheduling. 2 teams that feature orange in their colors. What a day. Let's get into Michigan versus Indiana real quick. Michigan loses.
Go up to East Lansing and watch the game there, and then go to the basketball game.
Double dip. 20, a little crunchies matinee to the basketball
Oh.
game.
I would have 2 brat burgers in that day.
Michigan lost to Kurt Signetti 20-15 at Indiana. Kind of had him on the ropes for,
Had 'em
well,
on
not
the
really.
ropes.
Well, they never really led, so I can't really say that. But they lingered. Indiana sold out, looked beautiful with the white rally towels. I haven't seen many colleges do the rally towels. A lot of people do pom-poms, but I like the rally towels. It made me feel like it was a playoff baseball game. So I like that for Indiana. I have a couple notes. It's really just more of the same. We're just learning more and more about the incompetence of the coaching staff that's happening.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
You got to give credit to the defense before we get into the coaching staff. They held Indiana to 18 yards in the second half.
Impressive.
18. That's less than
Indiana
20.
had negative yards for like 95% of the third quarter.
Yeah. The
Grant,
talent on
that's
the defense.
impressive.
That is, and that's a credit to Wink. We've been harsh on times to Wink, but he's playing with some backups. He's playing with different guys, and they're doing good. They're playing well, so I'll give them credit. The offense is still atrocious to the point that John O'Corn is tweeting about how he never lost to Indiana. That's the state of Michigan's program right now. It really is gross to think about this team's 5-5
Don
off the
Thomas
national
was
title.
mad about John O'Corn's tweet.
No one cares about.
Thankfully, I avoided that, so
podcasts.
I've steered away from that. I think I muted him on Twitter because I just don't need to see anything related to that account. Let's talk about some coaching decisions as we still try to figure out what's next
Why
year's
are we
going to look like
talking
for this
this much
program.
about him? Come on.
Well, it's just we're the only thing we're learning is, do we actually want to keep
Sure,
it all? Yeah.
You just
another
answer the
waste
question, Grant. Point blank.
I'm just recapping for the fans.
No, they know.
Another wasted timeout, challenging an obvious fumble, where after the game he was asked about it, thankfully, and he said the call came down from up top that it was pretty close, and I wanted to fight for my guys. Like it was not close, so he was standing straight up when he fumbled. So that's a terrible answer. If you want to put on your tinfoil hats, back to the Michigan State game with the stomping incident, Khalil Mullins, to Evan's point, last week didn't play much. He only had 1 carry in the first half. Not really sure what's going on with that. He was asked about that. He said it was based on practice. He said Donovan Edwards and Benjamin Hall were playing better, so they wanted to reward them. But if you wanted to go conspiracy, you'd think maybe that was a little internal discipline. And I don't think that was the case. I don't think Michigan would actually punish him for that. But it's just weird that you're not giving your best running back the football. Interesting.
The run game has been putrid the last couple of weeks.
Horrible. Speaking of that, Evan, 3rd and 7 in a game. Again, you're underdogs by 14.5 points to set the stage as well. Your season's over. You're just trying to make a bowl game. 3rd and 7, you do the whole Lions thing where you run the ball because you're going to go for it on 4th down. You get it to 4th and 3 at the Indiana 42. Instead of going for it, you just take a delay a game and you punt. Not sure what the point of that is. You get to
It's just funny when you say it out loud.
Yep.
Oh my!
3rd and 7 to 4th and 3. You take a delay game and you punt at the IU 42.
The way you said that was good comedy.
Next one. We have 2 more.
Evan's enjoyment for this is so funny.
So good.
Your football team you root for picks off Indiana.
Yeah.
Curtis Rourke, Zeke Berry picks him off at the Indiana 7.
Yeah.
You're going in. You're
We
a
have
goal to go.
chance.
You run it 3 straight times. It's 4th down decision, right?
Yeah.
Already bad enough. You just ran it up the middle 4 times against
Just score.
right. You're down 17-3. What do you have to lose? Kick a 22-yard field goal to go down 17-6.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Great job.
Points,
work,
baby.
D. Way to
Points.
get us 3.
We covered the spread.
And then worst of all, you throw short of the sticks on 4th down.
What?
Turn it over. Whatever. Your offense is anemic. Again, even the best coaching may not be able to help it. You have 3 timeouts. Indiana now has the ball. There's about a minute and a half left in the game. You can get the ball back potentially, right? You got 3 timeouts. Use them. First play. 8-yard gain for Indiana.
It should have been a negative 4-yard loss, but he broke like 7 tackles on the way to get 8 yards.
Wink Martindale said they do not miss tackles. He doesn't know what people are looking at. Right.
Then I don't know what I was watching.
Correct. So it's 2nd and 2.
Wink head coach next year.
2nd and 2. You're watching clock tick away. You're apparently having conversations with your staff about whether or not, like, what the defensive call is going to be. Are we going to let them get the first down or not? It takes so long that 30 seconds run off the clock. You're under a minute now. You decide to call your timeout.
Meanwhile, Gary's upstairs having a freaking stroke. We're just wasting time. Oh, timeout.
Valuable second. I mean, Gary and Brad would have, if they were ADs in Michigan, they would have Sharon fired after the last 2 games they've called. It's been
I feel so bad
disgusting
for them. They have to watch shit product every week.
They're also terrible, though. They get every single name wrong. So I don't feel as bad for them.
I think they don't care. I honestly think they just show up like, watch this shitty team again. Let's just get it all wrong.
Let's give them
what we're getting.
Yeah. We should be calling Georgia Ole Miss right now, Brad. This sucks. We got to watch Sharon Moore let 30 seconds kick off when he has to use his timeouts at the end of the game. So that's where we're at with him. There are like first year growing pains. Like Dan Campbell went through stuff like that was head scratching. We've watched coaches go through it. It's just more, it's adding up now. It's not like a one-off. He's not necessarily learning from them. The answers in the post game aren't great. He's just coming up with reasons it's happening that don't really make sense.
But he beat Penn State last year.
But he did beat Penn State.
He did.
This was the part too that was good perspective. I don't know if it's just, again, he's the head coach now full time. So yes, some moments are going to be too bright out the gate, which I understand. He's still young as well too. It's not like he's a veteran coach. It's his first ever head coaching job at a massive program that just won a title. When he coached Ohio State, again, Harbaugh's still there throughout the week, but like he had to make big decisions in that game. And I don't know if it's just like his mentality as a play caller is a lot more aggressive when he knows he has the horses to do it. Like, for example, they went for it 3 times on 4th down against Ohio State last year. In big moments, he had to make that call as the head coach. He knew he could trust JJ and Blake Corum to do it. And I don't know if this year he's just overthinking everything because he's like, our quarterback just cannot complete forward passes. So it's a lot harder. I don't know. But to compare the two from where we were against that game to now, it's quite a jump in what I've seen from him as the guy calling the pushing the buttons. So I'm still holding out. It's more so like, if they got rid of him, I would not be upset by any means. I like the idea of a head coaching search. There's a lot of names that intrigue me. I just know for a fact it's not going to happen. There's nothing in Ward Manuel's history that suggests that he will fire him after this season. It's more just on Sharon to keep recruiting, keep getting NIL going, and get coordinators in that can do a good job. If you want to talk yourself into Wink for one more year, I would not do it. I like going the young route from the Harbaugh tree that we had, but Kirk Campbell has to be gone. Like, there's nothing. If you keep him, then you're just a lame duck head coach, and you got to go too, because then you're just doing the D'Antoni stuff at the end of his career where he was just enabling people that didn't need to be there. Sorry, I'm just trying to speak in terms for Michigan State fans. So yeah, that's where we're at with them.
That was way too much on a shitty program.
Couple good laughs though. A lot of blunders in one game of football that you lost by 5 to the number 8 team in the country.
Yeah, great effort.
It really is. I give the defense credit. They played well. Offense can't say as much.
Yeah. I would have been pissed if Indiana lost that game. I got to listen to their hype train all year, and then they're going to lose to the one team I need them to beat. No, you're not going to do that to me, Kurt. No, you
said you were going to root for Michigan a couple weeks ago, I thought. Now we're all in versus the Buckeyes.
Like I said
for Evan.
2 weeks ago, I think Michigan has the pieces to be still a very good program and team.
What would you guys do? I went through the things. You haven't watched every game as closely as I have, or like, read the things about recruiting and all that.
Always
But like,
give them the benefit of the doubt, give them an extra. I'm never the quick to fire guy to my own demise. So
I think 2 years is fine.
I'd give him one more, and then I'd be really thinking about it.
Yeah.
2 years is good.
I think he's
get
recruiting
even worse next year, though, so I think it would make it even easier.
If they miss. But again, I just convinced myself that you can flip things fast.
You got Miller Moss
college
next year.
football. Dude, that'd be sweet. I would take that.
Sounds like that's happening.
That was like a rogue account. That was not like a.
No, it's really happening.
That was not a national recruiter, though.
It's
They
happening.
get Miller Moss and Bryce Underwood. What are you talking about?
I'd like that.
They could.
It's not coming out of my pocket.
It's not a 0% chance.
All right, let's end out with some college hoops. Raise your hand if your college hoops team is still undefeated.
Woo!
Evan, question.
Answer, Daily Double. I love watching this team.
When's the last time Michigan State basketball started 2-0?
Freaking
Oh, wow.
2012. We lost to Texas Southern at home. Oh,
That was an extreme Evan answer, I feel like.
That was a classic pessimistic answer there.
Probably 2019.
2019, I believe, was the last time. 2019
Oh.
or...
you asking me or are
What
you
did you-
telling me now? You said believe.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. It's 18 or 19. So,
Well, amateur hour.
been a few years.
Okay.
Maybe the
Big game
21
tomorrow
team.
night.
But yeah, it's been we lost to James
Do you guys-
Madison last year in the first game.
Correct. That was probably the darkest night of my life.
Do you guys view this Champions Classic? Like, I remember when Michigan used to play Notre Dame in football.
Oh, good times.
That was a barometer. Great times. That was a barometer game. Like, where do we stack up? Do you guys...
No.
Basketball's so different. There's 30 games. Do you care at all or take any stock into how they look in this classic?
If we win, a stock up. If we lose, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I think the only thing you want to see in these games is, number one, it's
Compete
in
and play
like
well.
it's a big environment.
We're in Atlanta.
Celebrities,
I think.
fancy people, big time teams around you with lots of talent. We're probably always the least amount of talent, even though we have more talent than most of the teams we play, which is just that's the nature of this classic. But I want to see one thing every year. Do we have one guy that steps up and like rises to the same level of the players we're playing against, or do we not have that guy? Because we've seen it many times. Denzel.
Sissoko versus Kentucky.
Okay, sure.
So versus Gonzaga on the aircraft carrier last year.
That's what I
just
meant. I'm sorry.
watched
did-
that entire game like 2 days ago.
Denzel was a pretty good role-ish player the year before, and then his senior year in the Champions Classic, he dropped a triple-double and we won. And I was like, holy shit, this dude's good.
We had a
Cassius
freshman, Matt McQuaid.
balled out in that game. Keith Appling once went off in that game when he was pretty
Against the number one
unknown.
Kentucky team.
We won. So you want to see, basically I want to see is Jaden Akins going to make the step tomorrow, or is it going to be someone else? Like
We beat Kentucky
Matt
in overtime
McQuaid
after
as a
being down
true
by 10.
freshman, hit 4 threes in the Champions Classic. Jace Richardson.
Kurtang.
You just
Can't
want to
just
see
play.
if you have guys that rise to the level, like could Xavier Booker rise to the level on a national stage
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna player watch 34 tomorrow night
Ooh, it's not going to be fun.
Apparently he plays
versus Dickinson.
he plays to his competition level, so I'm
Hell
expecting
yeah.
him to play up.
But they have another 7-foot freshman that is talented.
Not as skilled.
But to answer your question,
Book,
do I
though.
put stock into the wins or
Oh
losses?
yeah, that kid
No.
can't shoot, but he can jump out of the gym.
It's just good to see, like, how do you compare athletically to these teams? Because you know these
Yeah.
teams are going to be good.
Kansas is gonna have a nice Sweet 16 exit.
Like
Yeah.
when you watch a chubby point guard can't shoot threes 2 years ago, you know
Aw.
that you're probably
RJ Bogard.
you're probably not competing for a Big Ten in a Final Four. But if you watch Jeremy Fears and he's athletic and good and looks like he belongs because he is a 5-star as well, then we're talking about something. So we'll see. I'm excited.
Do him and Holloman kind of like? Well, we don't. It's too early. But do they play like the same amount of minutes? Kind of.
Holloman, Akins, and Fears kind of are all on the floor at times,
Okay.
depending. when we
They're
go
not playing
small.
the same amount of time.
I didn't know if it was like a 25-15 split or was it like
Holman
20?
got his ass chewed out in the first game and barely played in the first half.
So it's like 30-10 Fears to Holloman?
I
No,
wouldn't say that much. Fierce has played.
it's probably 50-50. Hellman would start on a lot of teams. He just doesn't start
Absolutely.
on ours.
Bad
Hellman
research.
scores
I could have done that
better.
research myself. I just didn't.
Fears needs to be more aggressive. We'll see if he takes that step.
I'm excited. It's a great event. Big picture, though, I was looking at odds, trying to get a feel for the market. There's a lot of teams that are tied for like to finish fourth. The betting market still likes Indiana, still likes Purdue.
No,
It
Purdue
likes
Center just
UCLA.
broke his leg yesterday.
Yeah.
I did see that. Was he the starter
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everything?
7'4"
Let me go.
freshman that can't fill out a jersey.
Let me go check this right now. But where are your guys' expectations at for this team? What do you
Expectations.
expect to happen?
don't
What do you
change.
what do you predict
Win
to
the
happen?
Big Ten.
Win the Big Ten.
Expect.
Expectations. Expect top 4. I think the Big Ten's going to be down this year.
This is the year to win.
But Ohio State doesn't look too bad. I think Purdue is vastly overrated.
I think they'll struggle.
I absolutely think they struggled. They struggled a couple times. Well, the one game that I watched, they struggled because they don't have the guaranteed bucket. They still have some nice pieces, and Fletcher
Their
Lawyer can still
Big
shoot
three,
them.
though, is not a scary big three.
Correct.
Kaufman, Wren, Lawyer, and Braden Smith. You're not like shitting your pants when you play those 3 guys.
I have them right here. You guys ready for this?
What are you reading?
Big Ten Conference regular season winner 24-25.
Purdue, Illinois,
Purdue is still the top at plus 450.
Illinois,
Ohio State plus 650.
Illinois.
They jumped up because they beat Texas. Great
Michigan
win.
State plus 800.
Third. Yeah, that makes sense.
Illinois plus 850.
They have
probably
a
have
really good freshman, but
Indiana plus 850.
honestly, I'm taking Indiana.
Plus
No,
1,000 Oregon.
would not
Plus
take any.
1,000 Michigan. Plus 1,200 UCLA. That's
UCLA
your top
lost to
7.
Columbia.
Villanova lost to Columbia.
UCLA
So really
lost to
based on
someone.
that, should I do it? Should I just get ahead of it? Where if it kind of pains me to see, should I just throw 10 on Michigan State to win the Big Ten right now? To win 80? Maybe
I
go a
think-
little more?
A reason
15.
to do it is Michigan State probably has the most depth and experience in the Big Ten, where they can just throw different guys at you that have all played in big
We're
games.
just not a sexy team. We don't have that super.
We're not hot though.
Cone Carr is sexy.
Okay, he is a.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's not scoring 25 points and leading us to a victory. He's going to have 10 points and like 2 nice dunks.
We have a lot of
Robinson the
talent,
third.
and we'll just have random guys score like 20 on a night.
Correct.
But it's never going to be
That's
one
how
guy.
I feel, and I don't hate that. Like we
We should
can roll
be
out
good.
12 guys that have playing experience, and I don't really feel bad about it. I'm hesitant on Jace because I see him too many times do the freshman.
He'll hit the wall in,
moments
like-
on offense.
January, but it's fine.
Booker feels like an X factor on the whole season.
Yeah,
If he
And that's
becomes like what he can
there's
be, then
crap ton of pressure on him to elevate
Like a
his game.
Wagner brother, where he's just a matchup nightmare game in and game out, then it unlocks the entire piece of the
Single-handedly
puzzle.
almost beat Purdue for us last year in Mackey.
yeah, but I just don't see him being able to do that consistently throughout the year.
No, I don't either. That's
Come
why-
on.
I think
Top
Fears
recruit.
is
It's a
going to
Michigan
get
State-
better and better and better every single game. And
It's
he'll
a
be
Michigan
a
State
problem.
basketball team, so it's the typical same thing. Okay,
Why do we start? Sorry, go ahead.
it's the
What's
same
typical
same
about
thing. Can we shoot from the perimeter, even though we have way too many damn jump shooting plays? Are we gonna have lulls on offense and turnovers?
Well, turnovers
Same
was
three
low
things.
last year, Evan. It's like the lowest
Not
it's
in the
ever
big
been.
games. It was not low.
Yeah, last year was the lowest turnover percentage in the Izzo coaching era.
Okay, take the other 2 away. Now add the other 2. Lulls on
We're the
offense.
second best 3-point shooting team in the Big Ten last
Lulls
year.
on offense. Big Ten doesn't mean shit. That was 2 years ago. We were.
No, last year too, even after the start. That's what
No!
they said on the broadcast.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we worried about rebounding at all?
No.
It used to be a big thing, but we're really good at fast breaking. So if you're better than, I don't know, I feel like that offsets the rebounding problem a little.
Big
For sure.
Ten, especially with Purdue guys going down, probably not as big heavy, but Zapata is 7 foot. Just Booker, I don't know if he's a beast down there. He just doesn't strike me as a.
Zapata's a big dude.
It doesn't strike me as the
Booker doesn't
gritty
rebound.
rebounding team that you guys are accustomed to having in the glory years. That's what concerns me. But maybe that's what Carr does, and Richardson comes in and grabs boards. Maybe the guards.
Say our
active.
guards board well.
I don't know if Carr will get rebounds solely because he's cherry picking and wants to windmill dunk everybody's soul.
This is the best fast breaking team we've had in quite some time. They fly down
and
the
this
floor.
team's going to need it because of how I think poorly we're going to shoot the ball from perimeter.
First 2 games we're playing cupcake opponents, but we had 20 fast break points off of makes.
Yes.
We're just taking it out of the basket, beating you down the floor in 2 seconds and scoring, which is awesome.
Leading rebounder through 2 games is Jackson Kohler, which I don't know if that will last.
His
but maybe
dramatically increased. I don't know how I feel about it.
People are still hating on him, and I understand why, but I do think he's going to be pretty decent. I don't think he's going to be all Big Ten or anything crazy. I think he's going to be the best center we've had in a few years because we've had no production in center.
He'd be a valuable 10, 8 rebounds a game, as he should be.
We can throw it to him on the block, and if he's not doubled, he can score, and we haven't had anybody that can do that
or he's going
to
drop the ball and turn it over.
Yeah, if he can catch the pass, he'll score.
Who's the you got? Let's say you win the Big Ten. We do that show. What's some of the main reasons it's happening besides the team? Who individually is stepping up to be?
Alex and I might say the same guy.
I have my guy.
What was the question?
But I'm just thinking Michigan way.
Michigan State wins the Big Ten. Headline. Boom. One of the players. The reason why is.
I think Jeremy Fears personally.
100%. I 100% agree.
Captain of the ship. Michigan State always goes as their point guard goes. So it's just what our program is.
Non-dramatic, what do you want to call it? Diva point guard that we've had.
Leader. Someone that leads the team, does the dirty work, doesn't need to score 50 a night, doesn't jack up shots against North Carolina and go 1 for 12 and lose you the game.
Are you talking about someone specifically?
Yeah, I am. I'm talking about AJ Hogarth.
I think it's Frankie Fiddlesticks. I do. It might be obvious because he's the transfer, but I think about it's just frame of reference, thinking back to Michigan teams I've seen. He needs to be your pesky Stauskas level player where you're going to be in some tough spots where there are lulls in the offense and he has to be able to get a bucket.
Yeah, I think that's Jaden Akins.
That's Akins? Okay. Yeah. Then Akins has got to play that role then.
He was the highest graded player in KenPom after the first week.
Big. He had Monmouth and Niagara in a torture chamber.
Yeah. He had a double-double in the first game.
I'm excited to see the rotation, obviously, in the first couple games, and even Izzo early in the season. He always plays. Well, through the first 2 games, everyone thinks that. I'm curious to see when we trim some of the fat, who's getting those minutes.
Cooper's. I don't want to poop on a guy. He's got to lose his minutes. I don't mind him. You can play him 4 minutes a game, maybe, but he's not. He can't do anything on offense. Pretty good.
Correct. I
don't see many minutes on here for him. If I'm looking at the roster,
Zapala's defense is good enough where his offense. It's good enough.
He's a starter, Evan.
I don't know if it is going to be good.
He's playing 20 minutes a game.
I don't know if his defense is going to be good enough.
What he does.
I see the way that he's moving out on the perimeter and the way that his defensive stance, and I cringe every time I look at it.
Okay, but what he does so well is he can catch passes way better than any of them, and he can finish at the rim and in traffic when he catches a pass.
I get that.
The other 2 can't catch the ball.
You look on offense, and I'm looking on the other side of the court. I'm 100%.
I'm not worried about our defense ever. We're always pretty good at defense. Okay. The only time we lose games is when we get torched from the 3-point line by white Iowa shooters.
Whoa. Well, good thing one of them's at Butler.
Yes. Whose season's over.
Now tell us any other questions about Michigan State basketball.
No, I think
big year for Izzo. People are going to put him on the hot seat.
I'm looking forward to the games at Ohio State in early January. I think it's January 3rd or something like that. And then later at Rutgers. Solely because
that's at Madison Square Garden.
Sure.
Ooh, the Garden.
Also, F the Big Ten schedule.
Our schedule's great this year.
I'm talking. Give me a second, Alex. Let me speak. End of January
last year
to
was
the middle
bullshit.
of February. I think there's 7 games in that stretch. We play 5 of them on Peacock.
Well, that is garbage.
True. And then once again, you guys have like 0 Saturday home games.
Correct.
Butler has like 5. I don't know which one I'm going to go to. There's so many.
Last year we had
You just have
2.
Oregon at home, and February 8th is like your only Saturday home game.
That's so ridiculous. How is that a thing? 2 years in a row, no recruiting trips
That's
on the weekend.
It's actually your only one. The whole year.
That's remarkable.
Nope.
Sunday
Nebraska,
home game.
December 7th.
We have a Sunday home game at least. Michigan's a Sunday home game.
Sunday home versus Wisconsin. Sunday home versus Michigan in March to end the year.
Okay.
As long as we're not Sunday
nice.
on CBS.
Those will be rowdy.
Sunday CBS at Assembly Hall. Sunday CBS at Mackey Arena.
We don't play at Purdue this year, just at home.
Correct. Tuesday
Tuesday
night,
on Peacock.
Peacock special.
Are you kidding
Indiana
me?
also a Peacock special versus Indiana at home.
Alex,
2 of the biggest Big Ten games in the whole season, they put them on Peacock.
there's
The
5
top
games.
3 odd teams.
Alex, there's
Yeah.
5 games we're on Peacock. It's from in a 4-week span.
No. Are you excited to stay up for the UCLA and USC games?
No, we get one of them at like 4 o'clock on like some random weekend.
I was hoping there would be like 11
Extra
p.m.
Central Time. No one's feeling bad for that.
No, I wanted to see how bad Evan was feeling about staying up for it.
Oh, I don't think I would. I really don't think I would.
Well,
Just for me-
we're back
for
in
me
the
to
top 15 in the rankings, Evan. You'll be dialed in.
Oh god. Just
Friday, January 3rd at Ohio State. That's a big one.
That's the one I'm
I
struggling.
hate Friday night games. They scare me.
Usually they're Wisconsin. You guys win.
Yeah, well, the New York
Yes.
City game.
In our black
yes.
uniforms.
What's
I gotta find a game to go to.
your other non-conference? Is it Colorado you start in Maui?
Yes,
Yeah, and
Maui
then
Invitational.
I want to see you guys play UConn so bad. I want Hurley and Izzo on a court. Would be awesome.
Last time we played Hurley, we won.
Yes, we
People-
did.
yeah, I mean,
Thanksgiving
People
weekend.
forget.
They've definitely lost a lot of talent. So, I mean, they're going to be good. But I
Terrace
wouldn't be
Reed.
surprised if you guys could
I
beat
made,
them.
my,
Eighth man.
I made my
He's
family
yeah.
turn the Lions game off and watch that UConn game during Thanksgiving.
Evan, you realize if we win tomorrow and then win the Maui somehow, we'll be like number 1 in the country.
No shit.
The
Ooh,
Maui
Auburn,
bump is real.
the Amos Immel clash. I want you guys to play Auburn and Maui. That'd be huge.
Who do we play in the second game?
I don't know. Iowa State would be a good game too. They're gritty as hell.
The Maui is loaded, per usual.
Yeah, it is loaded. Nice. I'm excited. Yeah, people are gonna always, like you said, the point about Izzo, Alex, but like you guys deep down, not his job security. He's a legend for life. But you are starved for some success. You need this year to go well, or it's gonna be really dark, I feel like.
We need to be back to at least like a consistent in the top 25 throughout the year.
Top 4 seed contending for the Big Ten title.
Yes.
Yeah. Top 4, not like a 1 seed, but like a top 4 seed in the bracket. Yeah.
Like if we lose tomorrow,
A 3 seed.
fine, and then we lose to Colorado the first game in the Maui, be another
Bad.
shit start to the year, and you're like, God.
Out for
damn.
Samford on Peacock. Samford's always pesky in that conference.
We play them.
Yeah.
Right before we leave for Maui.
Oh,
Ooh,
that is
people looking
sneaky.
ahead to get
That
their
is a
lays.
Sneaky game.
Samford comes in on Peacock only and beats you. Just
Fuck
kidding.
Alex. Tuesday, February 2nd to February 4th, 10 o'clock p.m. at UCLA Peacock.
Nick Cronin is
Just so you guys know,
that's good shit.
if we beat Colorado, we play UConn. So it's just right into it.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
god.
Yeah, that's terrible. It'd be on Thanksgiving Day, I think.
No, it's the Tuesday. That gets done before Thanksgiving.
Oh, championship is on Wednesday.
yes.
yeah. We play UConn on Tuesday if we beat Colorado. Scary.
Tuesday at what time?
6 p.m. on ESPN.
Oh, okay.
You guys have any questions about Dusty Mays Wolverines in year 1?
I've already done all my Michigan scouting. So you ask me any questions, I'll be
Was
able to tell you.
FAU the same as Michigan's offense so far through the games that I've been watching? Is Chuck at 3?
Chuck it. That is Michigan's offense. Yes.
They do hate mid-range jumpers.
Well,
yeah,
I
that's
was
his belief.
I wasn't watching. I was box score watching to Michigan. I was like, "What?" I just peeping the stats, and you guys attempted 28 threes at one point. I don't know what you guys ended up with.
He definitely philosophy is to let him rip. They do run a lot of nice sets. Like he has good sets, but like in their flow of their offense, it's like layups and dunks or threes. It's not really any
Mari
mid-range
Burnett is
stuff.
the green light. He just was pulling on some dudes. So it's like, I don't know. I don't remember him doing that last year.
Obviously, so far 1-1, lost a close one to Wake Forest, unfortunately. But again, I bet it's like to the point. Rather play good teams now,
Like
figure out what they
TCU,
are.
like Jamie.
Gotta win
Like
that
TCU
one.
on Friday. Looking forward to that one.
You do.
Their preseason stuff is not as big. They have a couple weird ones. They're like all one-offs. They go to Fort Myers. They play Virginia Tech, and if they win, they play the winner of Xavier and one other team. I'd like to see them play Xavier. Xavier's got a good club, so that would be a good test.
Oh, Miller.
And then they play
One of the Miller brothers.
the biggest game, I think, like just flash. They play Arkansas at home, I believe. on December
Calipari.
10th. No, they play that game in the Jimmy V Classic. I think that's in Madison Square Garden. Yeah, Madison Square Garden, Arkansas, December 10th at 9 p.m. Should be fun.
9 p.m. Ridiculous. It's an East Coast game.
That'll be your test of seeing high-level talent recruits across from you. And then they follow that up with Oklahoma 8 days later. They play them in the Jumpman Invitational. So those are kind of like their
Jumpman.
headliner games to start the year. But I don't know, Alex, what have you seen from your scouting? What do you think about this club?
I think Michigan's going to upset some teams because they can get hot from three. They like everyone on the floor they have, besides Golden, can shoot threes.
Alex, is this a tournament team? Yes or no?
Gun to my head, I think Michigan is on the bubble, makes the tournament team. Yes, I think they make the tournament.
I think they do too.
I think they're like a 9 seed.
I hate to throw expectations on a first year, but I kind of expect them to. Like I really have bought in to Dusty already. That's how I am. You know, I fall head first. Like I'm in with him. They did bring enough transfers where I think they have it like not cohesive yet because they're still all experiencing games together. But they're like the pieces are there. It's like a complete team. It's not like they're I don't know. It's not like they're a jigsaw puzzle like with Juwan Howard. The hard part that's going to be able to figure out is you're trying to play 2 7-footers together. It's going to be clunky unless, you know, Danny Wolf does show off a certain skill set. The biggest alarming thing with Wake Forest, they had to be better at rebounding the basketball. With that type of height,
they're too big to not rebound, and they've got murdered on the glass.
Yeah, the scariest. Well, the raw numbers were the same,
like
but the end of game, it was frustrating for fans watching because Wake Forest kept grabbing big rebounds. Golden has played pretty bad the first 2 games, and I don't think that will last. I think he's too proven good.
He's a little clunky.
Sure, but I don't know. It's not like I'm panicking on it. I think he'll be fine. He's grabbed like he's averaging 3.5 rebounds a game and 5 points. I think it will reach
way worse than I realized.
Yeah, through 2 games.
He gets in foul trouble a lot as well.
If I had to bet money, I'd say he'd regress towards his former self than his current play, which I think will be what we need.
If he puts up
10 points, 8 rebounds, 10 points, 7 rebounds, doesn't need to be a hero. He's not the guy that has to score 20.
Fuller could be better.
Sure. I mean, his averages at FAU, he averaged 7 rebounds a game, so he's not like a double-double guy. And his peak last year, he averaged 16 points a game. I don't need that. I need him 10 and 7 and just be a good defensive presence, essentially, down there.
Yeah.
And then let Wolf and Gale and
I would certainly worry about like the too many big men on the floor, especially if Wolf isn't draining threes and like spreading the floor. Because Michigan State has tried their stupid 2 big men lineup for 3 years. It just absolutely bogs down your offense. It's so bad. It's so easy to defend in the Big Ten too. So I would like to see them like get away from that if they can, if I was a Michigan fan. Because you have good guards and you have decent depth. You have pieces on the wing. So I don't see why you need to do that. And I think it's probably going to get to the point if Golden would struggle longer than expected, you just take him out, put Wolf at the 5 and stretch it out. I think you have a lot of versatility compared to last year. Your team last year was terrible.
Just didn't fit together.
Yeah.
I feel from what I've seen, we have a reliable point guard. You know, from Donaldson, I think he controls it well. And then the most exciting player is the freshman LJ Kaysen. I think if you're watching a game, he's the most fun to watch run around on a basketball court. He's still learning, but he's like fearless. Like we takes it to the rack, not afraid of anything, looks to draw contact. So I like that. The kid I like so far with his shooting is the Sam Walters kid from Alabama. I love the way he shoots the basketball.
Yeah, people are going to hate him.
I feel like he's a guy that, like, when you look at this team, if you're going to upset some teams in the Big Ten, like, that's the night where he makes 5 threes on the road in a Big Ten game, and you end up winning because of his hot stretch. Like, his shot looks legit, and he is all of 6'10". Like, he's a big dude. So hopefully he carves out a lot of minutes. But again, I think defense, physicality, rebounding are going to be the key things of this team that I would have questions about so far. But I would love, and I expect them to get into the NCAA tournament and finish like a top 4 in a 4th place Big Ten finish would be awesome. Top 6 I would take. Like 6th place in the Big Ten, I would be top 5. That range.
Not ready to say Michigan's a double bye team, but I think they can get a bye. Like they can get the 5 through 8. I could see them in that 6-7 spot. 8-9 in the tournament.
All they gotta do is get to double-digit wins in the Big Ten, and they'll make the tournament.
I can see them being a scary 8 seed in the NCAA tournament.
Definitely, yeah, I would take that. Definitely don't have an easy Big Ten schedule by any means. If you're going off of preseason rankings,
it's really just where you
Purdue,
play in this conference.
Skip Purdue twice, Michigan State twice.
You'll beat Michigan State once. I feel great about that.
Don't say that.
Indiana once, but at Indiana, unfortunately. At Ohio State, only once at Ohio State.
Big Ten
home versus Illinois.
Michigan State treatment this year.
Yeah, only 3 Peacock games I see, though, so that's good. Rutgers twice. They have talent. We know that. So, yeah, it's a tough schedule. The biggest thing I think that I'm looking for, I believe it, I hope it bears out, is that now I feel like I have a coach that coaches this team intellect-wise that is in the upper tier of the Big Ten Conference. It has to play out on the court, though, to be proven right. But whereas last year, I mean, you might have had intellect-wise in the bottom 3 of the conference. So, like, we could go play Indiana, and they may have more talent, but Dusty May and his staff could outcoach Mike Woodson, and we could win that game. Whereas last year, you're just going to get out-talented. So that is what I'm looking forward to this year, is seeing if that comes to fruition. We're out of timeouts. Those work. We're smart end of game. When we're up 3, we foul to send them to the line. We don't just let people shoot threes. Just the little things in basketball games that I hope to see this year.
How far do they go?
Probably not. I mean, if things click, they could make the second weekend. I mean, I've seen worse Michigan teams make the second weekend. But I'll put it as they beat a 9 seed and they lose by 15 to a 1 seed.
Not a bad first year by any means.
No. And building on the recruiting trail, you're seeing the right things. He's hitting the ground. I think he's doing the right things. I feel good about it.
Till he leaves for Indiana. Yep.
Well, that's what you tell me. But until that happens, I'm going to choose to believe that won't happen.
It's fair.
I'm not going to think about Dusty May going to Indiana in year 1 before we've played a conference game. I won't do it. I'm rooting for Mike Woodson for every game except for us because I need him to get extended. And that's the show. We know, though, if it gets into a bidding war, Ward Manuel's not winning that based on his track record of talented coaches leaving Michigan.
Yeah, we know that.
Cheers.
Cheers.